Well, it's nearly time for the action. We'll cross over to our commentary team in a minute's time. BBC Radio Solent Sport, Bournemouth away at Burnley in the Premier League. It is a big game for the Cherries, having had a poor run of form in the league. But Andoni Iraola is expecting a different challenge today to one they faced against Burnley in October, when the Cherries recorded their first Premier League win of the season.
They've changed a little bit their approach. I think they are not risking so much. They are playing more direct, and they've introduced also players that are performing really well. I think Odobert, for example, a winger, the Fofana, the signing, also Asignon, the right back, very offensive. So they've added some new players that I think they give them other things, and we have to be ready, because we are going them with the intention of winning the game, obviously.
So the players are just about to come out of the tunnel. Manchester derby takes place this afternoon as well. United making the small trip over to City. 3:30 kick-off, that one. That match is crucial for both sides' Premier League campaigns. City 4 points behind leaders Liverpool with a game in hand, while United can move within 3 points of Tottenham in 5th place. But right now, BBC Radio Solent Sport, it is all about what happens at Turf Moor. It is Bournemouth away at Burnley. Burnley in the relegation zone. Bournemouth themselves 13th, looking to move further away from the drop zone, being 8 points above the bottom 3 currently. We'll cross over now to your commentary team, your summariser John Williams, your commentator Jordan Clark.
Waldo, thank you very much. Welcome to Lancashire, a sunny, glorious looking Turf Moor on this chilly old early March afternoon. The players are in the tunnel, just about to make their way out onto the pitch. Bournemouth are 7 Premier League games without a win now, still waiting for that first victory of 2024 in the top flight. They have got a great opportunity to get it this afternoon away at Burnley, second bottom of the table. They are in dire trouble. Many of the supporters here, talking to a few before the game, I think have already accepted they are going to be heading back down to the Championship next season. They are 8 Premier League games without a win, just 1 victory in their last 12, and they've not been very good at home at all. Just 1 win here all season when they thrashed Sheffield United. Here come the players out onto the pitch now, and it's positive team news for Bournemouth and Andoni Iraola this afternoon. Dominic Solanke left out of the squad completely on Tuesday night for their FA Cup defeat at home to Leicester, managing a knee problem which he's had since the end of last year. But he is fit enough to start and play this afternoon. So Iraola reverts back to the 11 that started against Manchester City in the last Premier League game. So the 6 changes for the FA Cup switch back. Bournemouth are Neto in goal. Adam Smith, Ilya Zabani, Marcos Senesi and Milos Kerkez, the back 4. Lewis Cook and Ryan Christie, your 2 central midfielders. Justin Kluivert is in the 10 again, in behind Dominic Solanke, with Antoine Semenyo and Marcus Tavernier on the wings. Bournemouth's bench, Mark Travers, Chris Mepham, young 19-year-old Max Kinsey is on there again, Roman Fev, Alex Scott, Phil Billings, Dongo Watara, Luis Sinistera and Enis Unal. Burnley make 3 changes to the side that lost 3-0 away at Crystal Palace in their last outing. Josh Brownhill was sent off in that game for denying a goal-scoring opportunity, so he serves a 1-match ban this afternoon. Goodmanson and Admouni dropped to the bench. In come Vitinho, Cullen and Brun Larsen for Vincent Kompany's side. They line up 4-4-2, James Trafford in goal. Vitinho will come in at right back, O'Shea and Esteve are the centre-backs, Taylor at left-back, the midfield 4. Asignon wide right, Odobert down the left, it's Cullen and Berger in the midfield. Fofana on loan for Chelsea, highlighted as their danger man this afternoon, will play up front alongside Jakob Brun Larsen. The Burnley bench, Muric, Delcroix, Ekdal, Goodmanson, Cork, Rodriguez, Amdouni, Trezor and Manuel Benson. Bournemouth are in their change strip, navy blue and yellow halves this afternoon, navy blue shorts, yellow socks. Burnley claret and blue. We are commentating from the north stand here at Turf Moor. The Cherries are set up to shoot from our right to left in this first half, away from the travelling Bournemouth supporters. towards the Jimmy McElroy stand away to our left-hand side. This game live on all BBC Radio Solent frequencies, and if you're just joining us today and it's a better way for you to listen, it's available online on the BBC Sounds app. Just download the app to your smartphone, search for BBC Radio Solent, and also if you have a smart speaker at home and you ask it to play BBC Radio Solent, you can get the game, and that makes it available right across the UK. So if you know a Bournemouth fan not usually able to listen to the BBC Radio Solent frequencies, then they can get us wherever they are in the UK today via BBC Sounds or a smart speaker. It looks like we are turning the teams around for the start of this game. So Bournemouth are going to shoot towards the Cherry supporters, who are occupying one half of the cricket field stand end away to our right-hand side, the left-hand half as we look at it. So there's a good few thousand Bournemouth fans packed in there, and the Cherries will shoot towards them in this first half, so from our left to right. Yeah, John Williams, former Bournemouth defender and assistant manager, how are you feeling about this one?
It's a great turnout, isn't it? It's an awful long journey, not as bad as Newcastle, but it's up there with one of the longest ones. Yeah, our fans, as usual, got behind us. Great to see them all behind the goal.
Plenty of red and black. No need to wear too many layers at the moment. I'm sure they'll go on later on. But the temperature not too bad. It was Baltic on the way up yesterday. It has warmed up a little bit today. Here we are then, ready to get underway at Turf Moor, live in the Premier League on BBC Radio Solent. It is Burnley against Bournemouth, and it's Burnley who get us underway and go back to their goalkeeper Trafford, who's in highlighter pink this afternoon. The man in charge in the middle, in his orange top, black shorts and socks, is referee David Coote. And say it quietly and don't tell Adam Smith, but VAR back at Stockley Park, the man in charge today is Jared Gillett. Here's an early touch for Dominic Solanke down the right-hand side, and he goes to take the throw-in, and it gets headed out of his hands by Darragh O'Shea, who gets a yellow card inside the opening 30 seconds, which he's going to have to carry now up against Solanke for the rest of the match. What a silly thing to do, John Williams.
Absolutely incredible. Well, I mean, the centre-half getting booked, it's ridiculous.
Lewis Cook, delivery into the box towards Solanke, early touch, looks like he's moving fine, Dom Solanke, managing that knee injury. Kirkes over on the left-hand side, infield to Ryan Christie. Bournemouth back on the halfway line now, and the Ukrainian Zabani. Adam Smith sends it forward, top of the box, looking for Solanke, and there's a flag up for offside. Moving back in from an offside position was Dominic Solanke. Yes, he was about to take the throw-in down this near right-hand side in front of us. He had the ball up in the air, and O'Shea's just run, well, because he's gone in for the tackle, run past him and headed the ball out of Solanke's hands and gone straight into the book.
Ridiculous. What a cheap shot.
So Burnley,
good for us.
Sorry, well, they're Burnley 19th in the table, second bottom. Bournemouth moved themselves up to 13th overnight after Crystal Palace's defeat against Tottenham yesterday. So back up to 13th on goal difference. They can't go any higher today. Here come Burnley down the right-hand side, sliding tackle from Kirkes. It's into the box, it's looking for Fofana, it's cleared away by Bournemouth. Solanke gets the second header, drops deep into his own half, brought under control by Cullen. Send it back out to the right-hand side again, and then back into the centre circle now, Burnley. Here's Estev carrying the ball forward towards the edge of the box. He shoots from a long way out, it's low, it's cut off by Zabani, no real power behind that shot. But Burnley just growing in a little bit of confidence there.
Yeah, trying to get the early shot away, put the goalkeeper under some pressure.
Charlie Taylor with a throw in 18 yards out down this near left-hand side, heavy touch from Fofana, and he puts his hand up in apology. Can't return the ball back to Taylor, it's out of play, it's a throw into the Cherries. Adam Smith will take it on this near right-hand side. Had a brilliant game against Manchester City, did Adam Smith. He's having to play a lot of football at the moment with Max Aarons and James Hill both still out injured. Still no time frame from Andoni Iraola on when they might be back. Here's Solanke, tackled halfway inside his own half. Led off to the middle of the park. Come towards the edge of the box now, Burnley. And given away by Vitinho, who came a long way in off the right flank there, Vitinho. And it'll be out of play for a throw-in on this near left-hand side now, which Taylor will take. We did think Vitinho was going to go in it right back, and Essegnon was going to move forward, but it's the other way around. So Vitinho comes in on right midfield for Burnley this afternoon. And Essegnon will stay at right back. Here come Burnley again. All the possession, all the forward thinking at the moment from the home side. Senesi beaten to the header on the edge of the box. Early shot comes in. by Odobert inside the D, and it's deflected out to that far left-hand side, and Marcus Tavernier will do the defending for Bournemouth. And Burnley come again. This time it's Josh Cullen in the middle of the park. Patient build-up play by Company's side into the centre circle, and Estev.
Yeah, just having a little sequence of passing here. Burnley, nothing too threatening.
Brun Larson, bit of space, halfway inside Bournemouth's half, just right of centre. Sends it out to the right-hand side, and Nasignon in towards the middle of the box. Odobert with the shot goalwards. Diving save down low to his right-hand side by Neto. Bit of a let-off that from Bournemouth. Odobert had acres of space there inside the area. No power behind the shot, but he was completely unmarked, John Williams.
Yeah, well, it went from having no threat, they were just passing the ball around. All of a sudden, the ball breaks down the right, he chops it back, and he hasn't caught it, he's just cushioned it into the floor.
Neto drops the ball to the floor and just keeps the ball at his feet, and Burnley refusing to press him and just waiting on the edge of the 18-yard box. Odobert and Fofana. Eventually Neto will play it short to Senesi, and Bournemouth will try and pass their way out down the left-hand side, the far side. Ryan Christie is pressed quickly, but still has the ball at his feet. He's going to run straight into trouble on the edge of his own box. Here at Burnley, Adam Smith has to come in and help out, and it goes behind. First corner of the afternoon. And it's to the Clarets, and they knew what they were doing there. They waited and waited. Neto wanted them to close him down. They didn't, so eventually he went short. And Christie dribbling the ball across the edge of his own 18-yard area, giving it away. Adam Smith had to come in and do some last-ditch defending there to get Bournemouth out of trouble. Corner to the Clarets.
Yeah, it's not like Christie, usually pretty safe with the ball. Well, that one was a bit dangerous. Wins Burnley the corner.
It's going to be an outswinger over on the far side. Everyone forward. Couple lurking on the edge of the box for Burnley, everyone else inside the 18-yard area. It's towards the penalty spot, it's curling outwards, not dealt with by anyone, and then no one there in a claret and blue shirt to get on it. And Bournemouth can try and clear down this near right-hand side towards Tavernier. Kirkes was over on the right, doing a bit of covering. He couldn't keep the ball in play, throw into Burnley on the halfway line.
Yeah, I think it was his job on the far post and ended up coming out this way. Couldn't quite get the curl on the ball to keep it in.
Taken square by Taylor on the halfway line, into the feet of Fofana, then back to James Trafford, the goalkeeper. He goes long and direct, looking for the run of Brun Larson, finds him on the edge of the area, drops down towards Taylor. There's a foot in there from Cook, brings down Taylor, wins a free kick. It's about 30 yards out, touch over, just left of centre.
Yeah, dangerous spot. They'll probably kill one in. Looking for the big lads to get on the end of them.
Brun Larson and Cullen are stood over it, deep in conversation. Referee David Coote marks the 10 yards with his magic spray. It's just a one-man wall for Bournemouth. Neto organises in the form of Marcus Tavernier. And again, Burnley sent everyone forward in line with the free kick. No one back on the halfway line. They're wide open, should Bournemouth get a break on here. Cullen leaves it, does he? No, he comes back, then curls it in right-footed, headed away by Senesi. A little training ground routine there. Stepped over the ball and then backpedalled and took the free kick.
Yeah, good header by Senesi, as you say, just on the edge of the box.
Searching ball out to this near left-hand side, finds Taylor nearly on the byline. His cross is sliced and straight out of play towards the Jimmy McElroy stand. Goal kick to Bournemouth. We've played nearly 8 minutes here on BBC Radio Solent and BBC Sounds across the UK. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 0.
Taylor made a real mess of that. Ball bouncing up nicely for him, and he had 3 in the box, or approaching the box.
And again, Bournemouth want to take it short. They've got Senesi and Zabani inside the 6-yard area, near enough as they do, but eventually Neto opts to go long, with Burnley lurking on the edge of the 18-yard area. It's so long, Burnley win the ball back and then work it to their goalkeeper Trafford. They'll send it out to the right-hand side, and Nasignon. Clearance isn't a great one at the first attempt by Senesi. Gets a second bite at the cherry and will send it down the line, looking for Tavernier. He's found a bit of space in behind Nasignon here. Still Tavernier to the byline. Can he find a shirt? No, he can't. At the back post, it's cleared by Burnley and then nearly put back in by Adam Smith. Couldn't find a cherry shirt. Semenyo was lurking at the back post. Bournemouth have a throw in halfway inside the Burnley half down this near right-hand side.
Yeah, nice work by Tav on that left-hand side. Did him for pace as well. Good to see.
Senesi, ball towards the edge of the box. Looking for the runner, Kluivert. Kluivert's managed to bring it under control. Shoots first time. Having chested it down. There was a good sliding tackle in there by Estev to deny him. Another ball comes into the box from the right, and Adam Smith. Burnley again head clear.
Yeah, Kluivert, I think he just took a bit too long on it.
Bit of space in the middle of the park for Cullen. Searching ball down the right-hand side, looking for Vitinho. Marcos Senesi is there, and I think he's just pulled his hamstring. Can you believe it? He went sprinting after the ball, after Vitinho. And then he started to limp about halfway into his run. He managed to get to the ball and deal with it, then dropped straight to the deck, holding his left hamstring, Marcos Senesi, and he is now down, sat down.
No, he's gone.
Waiting for the physio to come on, and Neto is already signalling that they're going to need a substitution. Yeah, and that is a big blow for Bournemouth and for Marcos Senesi, having just been called into the Argentina squad as well for their games coming up in March against El Salvador and Costa Rica out in the US. He's been playing really well, Marcos Senesi. And on a cold March afternoon, another hamstring pings for Bournemouth.
Yeah, I mean, it's so annoying, isn't it? I mean, you can see them, they've been warming up for 40 minutes. It wasn't exactly a sprint race, was it? It was just some routine. The only thing I've seen it once or twice, you can get a muscle spasm, like a cramp for no reason, and you think you've pulled something. Fingers crossed. I know it's an outside chance, but if not, substitutes.
He's down receiving treatment now from the physio. He's being given the old leg stretch as if he's got cramp. Can't see any subs out warming up for Bournemouth at the moment. Tommy Elphick is, the bench is over on the far side from us, so it's quite a long way to see sort of what's happening over there. Andoni Iraola is gesturing towards Tommy Elphick. So your options on the bench in terms of defenders, not a lot for Bournemouth at the moment. Chris Mepham
will be the one, I would imagine.
Is your obvious choice, because otherwise it's young 19-year-old Max Kinsey. And Senesi is still down. There are jeers from the home supporters. 11 minutes gone. If you're just joining us on BBC Radio Solent, BBC Sounds across the UK, it's Burnley 0, Bournemouth 0. Only real chance of the game so far has fallen to Burnley. Odebear with a shot in acres of space inside the 18-yard area.
I mean, the referee's ushering
quite
him
comfortably
off the
by Neto.
Referee's ushering him off the pitch. Why didn't he just go behind the goal?
Marcos Senesi's afternoon is done. He is heading off. On comes Chris Mepham for Bournemouth.
Substitution for Bournemouth, replacing number 25, Marcos Senesi.
Big opportunity for Chris Mepham now, Willow. He's spoken about his lack of game time and the frustrations that he's having at Bournemouth at the moment. The hamstring's not going to be a quick fix for Marcos Senesi. Meantime, there's defending for Bournemouth to do, and Mepham immediately. Throw-in comes in from the right, about 12 yards out. Christie heads clear, headed back into the danger area by Burnley, and then headed away at the second attempt. Marcus Tavernier, left side of the box, brings it under control, clears, charged down by Burnley. Goal kick to Bournemouth, 0-0.
Yeah, good start by Mepham, winning the header. Makes you feel good. Get your head on that first one as a centre half. You know your timing's in. Just taking a short goal kick here now, calls it off. Look like it's going to go long. No, he takes so much time, Neto, on the ball.
Burnley are waiting for them to play short. They're setting the traps. Neto not falling for it at the moment. Second goal kick goes long over the halfway line. Lewis Cook sends it over the top, looking for the runner Kluivert. Kluivert's in behind again. Onto his left foot, onto his right foot, Justin Kluivert! Bournemouth lead away at Burnley. Lovely touch from Kluivert to skip away from the defender and then smash it past Travers. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert with his 6th goal of the season.
Well, it was a great finish. The trick was to get himself in that position where he was facing the goalkeeper. I mean, what a turn it was to do that. I mean, he's almost hit it through the goalkeeper, hasn't he? I don't think the goalkeeper could even see the shot. It was so fierce.
We spoke before the game with Ian Wilding in our pre-match build-up on BBC Radio Solent about Justin Kluivert making that number 10 shirt his own. It was a lovely touch away from Dara O'Shea with his right foot. O'Shea went sliding in. It was left for dead on the ground. And it was a little bit of a lucky second touch for Kluivert, which dropped it in his path, and he was then able to just smash it past Trafford.
The goalkeeper didn't even move. He hit it that hard.
Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert. And that'll settle things down for Bournemouth after soaking up quite a fair bit of pressure early on in this game from Burnley, Willow, and then obviously the Senesi injury can all have a bit of an impact psychologically.
Yes, it can, but that's just the tonic we needed to get ourselves in a good position.
And Turf Moor has fallen near enough silent as well. It's
and
the Bournemouth fans.
They can't send fans on their team. Seen it before.
Yeah, and they've not had a great deal to shout and cheer about here this season. Just that one win, that big win over Sheffield United, 5-0. Their only home victory. 10 home defeats this season. That is a club record equalling number in the league for Burnley. 11 today would break that record of most league defeats in a season here at Turf Moor for the Clarets.
Now the trick is now, of course, to get the second one as quick as possible.
Burnley in possession on the halfway line. Esteve goes back to his goalkeeper Trafford. A lot of talk in the build-up in terms of Burnley's style of play and how they have realised that their possession-based football playing out from the back, which served them so well last season in the Championship. We'll come back to that in a minute, because here come Burnley into the Bournemouth box. Semenyo goes to ground, looks like he won the ball. Referee's not interested. It'll be checked by VAR back at Stockley Park. Loads of divots in the 18-yard area from that sliding tackle from Semenyo, who's in front of the player, and he got to the ball first. Great tackle, an important tackle from Antoine Semenyo there inside his own 18-yard area.
It's the fairest tackle you'll ever see.
Not many complaints, if any, from the Burnley players, to be fair. More the supporters in the Jimmy McElroy stand away to our left. It's a throw into Burnley, 18 yards out. Down this near side, their left. Kluivert will win it back for Bournemouth, though, and send Dominic Solanke away down the right. He's just beaten to the ball by Esteve, who goes back to his goalkeeper Trafford. Yeah,
Esteve there, I just looks a little bit hesitant to me. I'd like to see a race with him and Dominic.
Yeah, well, all the talk was that they've changed things up and they go more direct now. They don't play out from the back as much, but have taken a few risks already, Burnley, this afternoon.
I don't think it's totally back to front football, but I think they're just trying to have another spring to the ball. Oh, win the ball back. Well done.
Lewis Cook's done well there, halfway inside Bournemouth's half. It's out on this near side now, the Burnley left. Esteve again, square ball into the centre circle in the feet of O'Shea, who was a little bit embarrassed by Justin Kluivert for the Cherries opener. It came on 14 minutes. It's Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert, the difference so far. Free kick to Burnley, about 18 yards inside the Bournemouth half. Right of centre, Josh Cullen has stood over it. Again, they'll send everyone forward, Burnley ahead of the ball. So Bournemouth send everyone back defending. Justin Kluivert the furthest forward for the Cherry, and he's the one-man wall.
Yeah, some big lads up there. Need to make sure you know who you're marking and stay as close as you possibly can.
Brun Larson is on the free kick as well, and he delivers it towards the back post, looking for O'Shea, gets up above Semenyo, wins the header down to the edge of the box. Vitinho curls one towards the back post, it's up in the air, it drops for Fofana, air kick from Fofana. Completely missed the ball. Burnley do still have it, but they'll send it all the way back to the bright pink shirt of James Trafford, their goalkeeper. And he goes a little longer, more direct this time, out to the right-hand side. Looking for the run of Fofana, who bundles over Milos Kerkez, who got body between ball and man and did really well.
Yeah, Fofana, what is he? He can't go through him, you have to go round him if you're going to get the ball. Kerkez just put the brakes on and nature takes its course.
That's the voice of John Williams, former Bournemouth defender and assistant manager. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent live from Turf Moor. Available, the commentary today across the UK on the BBC Sounds app and smart speakers. Bournemouth a goal up. Still looking for that first win of 2024. They play the other two sides in the bottom three next after this game against Burnley. Sheffield United and Luton to come, all at home. Here's Estev on the halfway line for Burnley to Taylor, and then back infield in a triangle of play to Cullen, then back to Estev, and good pressing from Bournemouth. They'll send Burnley back to Trafford, the goalkeeper, who has a 1-2 with Dara O'Shea, who's still on a yellow card, remember, as well, after that stupidity inside the opening 30 seconds, heading the ball out of Dominic Solanke's hands from a throw-in. And Trafford is dilly-dallying with the ball about 25 yards out, and Dominic Solanke nearly nicked it away from the Burnley keeper there. And here come Burnley on the break further forward. There's too much on that for Brun Larsen, and Zabani's able to get in there and hook the ball away and out for a throw-in over on the far side to the home team. 18 yards out, they take it quickly. Find the feet of Cullen. Good press again from Ryan Christie this time. Burnley back to the halfway line, and here's Estev, who's going to again drive forward out of his central defensive position through the middle, cut off by Cliver. Back with Cullen now through the middle for Burnley. They'll switch it out to the right hand side now. Vitinha with a couple of step overs. Asignon in fact over on that far side.
Yeah, it's a good little battle Kirkers and him.
Here's Audebert, heavy touch from Audebert, that lets Christie in, but then Christie slips over. Here's Asignon. Vitinho, square ball, looking for Audebert to the byline, keeps it in, and there's a good block from Chris Mepham behind for another corner to Burnley. Yeah, it's just looking a little dangerous again.
Yes, it was, and Cookie's not happy with the way we defended that one. Just having a go at one or two of the lads, fair enough.
20 minutes gone. If you're joining us a little late, the reason Chris Mepham is on is because Marcos Senesi has gone off with a hamstring injury.
Sure.
Taken short to the far side. Dribbling in towards the box. It's across the 6-yard area. Just needed a touch from a Burnley shirt. It didn't get one, so Bournemouth can clear up towards the halfway line. Audebert it was, twisting and turning. And there's a diagonal out to this near left-hand side from Burnley now. Adam Smith underneath it, gets up, wins the header and puts it behind for a throw into Burnley. 6 yards out. Taylor, the left-back, will come forward and take it. Goes back to O'Shea, the centre-back. Halfway inside Bournemouth's half. Just in from this near left-hand touchline. They work it to the centre circle.
Yeah, just passing it round. Not very quick, Burnley. I think they might be playing into our hands, especially if we can nick it.
Slow build-up plays. Wilson Audebert again through the middle. Finds Sander Berg. Still Berg towards the top of the D. Still Berg trying to thread it through to Vitinho. Bournemouth get it away. Again, still on the edge of the D. Here's Audebert again inside the box. Vitinho to his right side of the area. His cross is a deep one to the back post. There's no one there for Burnley, and Antoine Semenyo can just shield it out of play for a throw into Bournemouth.
Yeah, just taking the sting out of it, Semenyo. Yeah, fairly confident looking Bournemouth back four there. I wanted things to be cleared a lot more quickly, but they were quite content with a couple of passes first before they can get out.
Well, what have you made of the tactical battle so far? The build-up play for Bournemouth very central so far. The bright moments have come through Cliver. Semenyo and Tavernier on the wings relatively quiet. There was that one moment for Tavernier where he got in behind earlier on.
One moment, yeah. I think we can do more. Semenyo hasn't touched the ball that much at all, to be quite honest.
Space now for Burnley on the right wing. Early cross in, cut off at the front post by Kirkes. Comes back out, curling shot from Vitinho's over the bar and behind into the Jimmy McElroy stand. Goal kick to Bournemouth. They lead by 1-0 through Justin Cliver. Early goal kick from Neto, direct, looking for Solanke and Semenyo. Doesn't find either of them, bounces in the middle of them both. And through to Trafford, his opposite number, the Burnley goalkeeper.
I don't think Dominic was even looking at Neto there when he struck the ball.
Just one clean sheet for James Trafford this season in that Sheffield United win here. And he's just passed it straight to Christie. Sliding tackle from Christie, wins it back. Here's Solanke through to Kluivert. Kluivert, one touch onto his left foot. He's just held up. Tavernier shoots. It's high into the back row, near enough for the cricket field stand away to our right-hand side.
Well,
and a goal kick.
Semenyo. Semenyo not happy with him on the far post there. He was there for the tap in. He could have just... I mean, the ball came back too hard at him for him to have a shot. There's no way he's going to control that.
But again, Willow, James Trafford in goal, taking too long on the ball, picking the wrong pass. Christie was able to cut it off. Crystal Palace scored in exactly the same way when he sent a dodgy pass out from the back, the Burnley goalkeeper, in their last Premier League match. Here's Solanke chasing the ball down. It just creeps inside the area so that Trafford can claim it after the header back from O'Shea, and O'Shea's apologising to Trafford now, and Bournemouth are just waiting to pounce on those nervy moments from Burnley.
Yeah, what was O'Shea thinking of? Dear me. A bit more power than that with his header.
Just enough power to reach his goalkeeper. Turn in the middle of the park by Odegaard, sends it out to the left hand side, and Brun Larsen, ball into the box, chested away by Lewis Cook, and then there's a late tackle by Kluivert on Odegaard, who's gone down on the edge of the area. Kluivert's waving for him to get up. The ball's gone behind for a goal kick to Bournemouth. Missed that because it was off the ball slightly after the ball had gone. He's still down holding his foot, rolling around, looks like he's in real pain.
I thought he kicked the floor, you know.
Quite possibly. And that's how the ball ended up where it did, over on the far side, out for a goal kick. Just going to see a replay for it now on the screens in front of us. We'll take a look at that. Meanwhile, Odegaard is slowly getting back up to his feet. He was just bundled over by Kluivert after the ball had gone. Kluivert's just trying to stop himself and had nowhere left to run. Nothing in it.
Nothing in that at all.
Odegaard's absolutely fine. And Bournemouth have a goal kick, and again Burnley set the trap on the edge of the box. Mepham and Zabani are inside the 18-yard area, and again Neto goes long up towards Kluivert, who doesn't jump, so he's beaten to the header by Esteve. Middle of the park now for Vitinho. He's about halfway inside Bournemouth's half, closed down by Christie, finds Cullen, still central position, sends it out to the right, and Essignon, edge of the box, shot comes in from Vitinho, shut down by Bournemouth. Tavernier brings it under control, but then he has the ball taken away from him by Essignon, and Vitinho over there, and Burnley can't make anything of it, and Bournemouth get it away again up to the halfway line, but Solanke's back defending, so there's no outball for Bournemouth. And
yeah, just again Tavernier just he's got that one cross in, but he's given the ball away once or twice.
That's Paul from Esteve, who's just passed it straight out of play, looking for Brun Larsen down this near left-hand side. And Bournemouth have a throw-in halfway inside their own half. They've had to soak up a fair bit of pressure and attacking intent from Burnley in this first half, but they've stood strong so far. Only real big opportunity for Burnley was a shot for Odegaard from inside the box, which was comfortably saved down low to his right-hand side by Neto. And Bournemouth have just waited for their moments at the other end. And it was a brilliant finish, brilliant touch from Justin Kluivert to find space and room to fire past Trafford for the opening goal on 14 minutes to give Bournemouth their 1-0 lead. But here come Burnley again down this near left-hand side, and Taylor looks up, thinks about the cross, does deliver in towards the penalty spot. Mepham hooks it away. Christie with the second header, looking for Kluivert. Essignon gets the nod down towards Berg.
I just happen to feel they are ripe for being broke on, Burnley. We can just nick the right or intercept the right pass.
Here's Esteve again, driving forward from the back for Burnley. His cross is a deep one towards the far side. No one there until Vitinho can keep it in. Right side of the box. Back to Essignon. Here's Sander Berg. Turns away from Solanke. Inside the box now. Square ball. Top of the box to Odegaard. They lay it off to Esteve. Halfway inside Bournemouth's half now. Square ball to Cullen. Space for Taylor down the left. If Burnley look up, they don't. And there's a heavy touch from Sander Berg, who does eventually bring it under control. Bournemouth, with all 11 men back behind the ball, are quite happy to let Burnley just have possession in this situation. Forward to Fofana. Chris Mepham follows him out from the defensive back line of 4. Gets a foot in, then Burnley send it out to the left. They do find Taylor now. His early cross in towards the penalty spot is headed away by Kirkes, only as far as O'Shea, halfway inside Bournemouth's half. Central position. He's got Cullen to his left, short pass, finds the feed of Cullen, turns away from Solanke, lifts the ball towards the edge of the box. It's away by Zabani, high into the sky, and then Clive with a good challenge in there on Estev, and Estev goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, James Trafford. John Williams.
Fair little spell by Burnley. 20-30 passes, keeping the ball, looking to thread one through. All the Burnley players gone down.
Josh Cullen just bundled over, pushed over by Lewis Cook after he released the ball back to his goalkeeper, right in front of the referee, David Coots. Free kick to Burnley, no complaints from Lewis Cook.
Yeah, they just had a little spell of possession, Burnley, and looking like they were going to...
Cullen through the middle, finds Sanderberg to his right. Assignon, right side of the box, right corner, as we look at it in front of us. From the north stand here at Turf Moor, sun still beaten down on the pitch. Bournemouth still leading by a goal to nil through Justin Clivert. Throw into Burnley. About 25 yards out on the far side, their right, in front of the Bob Lord stand. They'll send it all the way back to their goalkeeper, James Trafford, who's a long way out of his box, nearly at the centre circle. And he gets the ball back to his feet again. A little bit of talk about whether he might be under consideration from Gareth Southgate as a backup to Jordan Pickford for the next England internationals, with the likes of Aaron Ramsdale not playing regularly for Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah, just as a long pass there, Burnley trying to get in behind us, but Kerkez gets his body in between, no problems.
Goal kick to the Cherries. Neto again is sending Mepham and Zabani out of the 18-yard area. He's going to go long, as he has done with every goal kick so far this afternoon, taking no risks here at Turf Moor. And he's just frustrating the home supporters now, taking his time, moving his players where he wants them, over onto this near side, the Bournemouth right. He sends it out towards the flank. Antoine Semenyo gets up, wins the header, comes off of Sanderberg, throw into Bournemouth.
Yeah, the two wingers, I think, just used to seeing an awful lot more from them going the other way. And there's a chance.
Here's Dominic Solanke, right edge of the Burnley box. Square ball to Lewis Cook, 25 yards out. He's got Kerkez to his left and finds him. Tavernier's hugging the touchline. Kerkez to Tavernier. Tavernier turns away from Assignon and then wins a throw-in, does he? Yes, he does. Throw into Bournemouth, halfway inside the Burnley half. Assignon is furious, feels that throw-in should have been given to him. Milos Kerkez will take it. Short sleeves and gloves for Milos Kerkez this afternoon.
Well, sometimes happens.
Throw in down the line to the left side of the area. Tavernier's done really well to the byline. Toe pokes it in towards the 6-yard box, looking for Solanke. Solanke was beaten to it. Marcos Tavernier did really well there, just snuck in between two Burnley defenders who were trying to usher the ball out of play for a goal kick. Tavernier having none of it.
Yeah, he did do. They took a risk, the Burnley players, that's for sure.
And I'm sure you're picking it up on our effects mic in the background, but the Bournemouth fans, travelling supporters away to our right-hand side, are in fine voice this afternoon with their side 1-0 up, singing Andoni Iraola's name, who has just sat back down in his dugout. He's in black chinos, long black smart jacket this afternoon, I think, from the far side. Vincent Kompany is opposite number alongside him, right on the edge of his technical area in his baseball cap, barking instructions. Tommy Elphick is the nominated Bournemouth coach at the moment, out directing things. Here's Dominic Solanke on the halfway line. Just struggled to get into the game so far, Solanke, Bournemouth's leading man.
He's one touch then away from being in on the goalkeeper one-on-one.
Some black strapping around that left knee of his, and that persistent problem that he's managing at the moment, which looks like it's just starting to peel off.
That doesn't do no good, I can assure you.
Psychological, is it? Just makes you feel a bit better.
Yeah, it makes you feel better for about 20 seconds.
I bet it hurts as well when you rip it off. Here's Chris Mepham, good defending from Mepham over on the far side, and then square ball to Lewis Cook, who remains really calm under pressure on the edge of his own 18-yard area. He's surrounded by about 3 Burnley players in different positions around him, and he just stopped dead, didn't move, and no one wanted to come and tackle him in the end. He was able to pick his pass, but great composure just to think to do that, John Williams. Yeah,
there's a difference between composure and panic. I used to use the latter one more.
By smashing it into Rosed?
Quite possibly.
I think you're doing yourself down, Willow.
I've hit Rosed, I can assure you.
Harry Redknapp's greatest ever signing sat alongside us here calling the game for you on BBC Radio Solent. Ilya Zabani goes back to Neto, his goalkeeper, shifts it out of his feet and goes long and direct through the middle, over the halfway line. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Just over 10 minutes to go until half-time. Adam Smith has got space down the right. He's looking for Solanke. Semenyo had moved infield to open up the room down the flank for Solanke. Not enough power on the pass from Smith. And it's cut off by Burnley on the edge of their own 18-yard area.
Yeah, he just needed a bit more suave on that, didn't he? To just get round the defender, and perhaps Dominic could have got across, but as you say, not enough pace on it.
The other big talking point from the game for Bournemouth, if you've joined us a little late, Marcus Senesi off injured early on in the first half with a hamstring injury. Chasing the ball down, pulled up very quickly. Chris Mepham on to replace him. Bournemouth very light on defenders at the moment. Here are Burnley, halfway inside the Bournemouth half, through the middle. Cullen still driving forwards towards the D, lays it off. Curling shot from Odebear's wide. Again, Odebear with acres of space, this time on the edge of the box. Tried to pick his spot in the top corner, couldn't quite execute it. I think Neto pretty comfortable that it was going wide. But just another warning sign for Bournemouth.
Yeah, Odebear, he's looked one of their biggest threats every time he gets on the ball. Seems to want to get a shot away. Have to be careful with him.
And again, Neto receives the jeers of the home fans as he sends it long over the halfway line, flicked on by Solanke, looking for Kluivert, who's worked really well with Solanke. He's been really close to Bournemouth's number 9 this afternoon, the Cherries' goal scorer.
Yeah, they're getting a good little understanding.
Early ball, Lewis Cook finds Dominic Solanke in space, right side of the box, brings it under control, lays it back to Semenyo. He's surrounded by 3 Burnley shirts. Back out to Smith. Early cross in towards the back post. Tavernier is peeled away. Flags up for offside against Marcus Tavernier. Again, great vision by Lewis Cook there, and that early ball over the top for Solanke.
I thought Solanke was offside, to be honest, when he made the run.
A little bit off the ball here, because David Cook's just gone sprinting over to the far side. And Lorenzo Signon is right in the face of Marcus Tavernier, pointing and gesturing at him. Tavernier is just backpedaling towards the halfway line, just sort of soaking up the verbals from a Signon. Coote was obviously significantly worried that something was going to develop there, because I've never seen a referee run so fast to get over to the far side and just calm things down. Keep an eye on that, Willow, that little battle over on the far side now. Neto does just wait a little longer on that clearance, closed down, but does send it over the halfway line. Looking for Solanke, his space for Lewis Cook down the left now. Couldn't quite squeeze the ball through to Justin Kluivert. Burnley back in possession, edge of their own 18-yard area, and that's a hurried back pass to Trafford, who for the first time I think this afternoon doesn't take a touch and sends it long over the halfway line.
Yeah, just a little our turn to have some possession. Not that one, given away right through to the goalkeeper.
The flag carrying the Burnley club crest, the top of the Bob Lord stand opposite us, whipping back and forth. Certainly can't feel the wind up here in the stand that we're in. It doesn't look like it's affecting things down on the pitch at the moment. Here's Burnley, edge of the Bournemouth box, but Marcus Tavernier wins it back really well against the Signon. He'll have enjoyed that one, having just got a mouthful from him a few moments ago. And here's Semenyo down the right for Bournemouth now, held up on the halfway line. Well, talk to me about patience, because it feels like that's what this first half performance from Bournemouth have been.
I just think the last maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes that we've sort of taken control of the game.
Given away on the halfway line by the Cherries. Now Burnley can try and break. Odebear's got space down the left for Charlie Taylor and Brun Larsen. Here is Brun Larsen, left side of the box. Square ball to Fofana, just outside the area, left of centre. Can't squeeze it through, and now Bournemouth can break. Ryan Christie and Dominic Solanke. Semenyo's trying to get up with them as well. Lewis Cook down the left. Christie sends it to the right in Solanke, right side of the box. Marked closely by Estev. Onto his left foot now. Into a more central position, goes down, wins a free kick. Dominic Solanke about 25 yards out, just a touch under. Good opportunity for Bournemouth to put the ball into the area.
Yeah, that's come from the other one end of the pitch to the other. all but because we won a second ball on the edge of the box, managed to break out, and Dominic just wins us the free kick.
Clumsy tackle from Estev in the end. He probably felt he had to make it.
I don't think you can shoot from here, can you? I couldn't anyway.
Not with your left foot, but
it hasn't got to be a left foot.
Marcus Tavernier might fancy it. It is
30 yards, maybe a bit less.
About what, 7 yards right of centre?
You could do a Beckham and cave it the other way round.
I'm going to say it's 25 yards out, tad under. It is Tavernier lining up. It's a 3-man wall, and I think he fancies this one. But this could be a training ground routine, because there's a 2-man Bournemouth wall stood trying to block the eyesight of goalkeeper James Trafford. It's Chris Mepham and Ilya Zabani, and then Odever stood behind them. Tavernier, left-footed, curling just over the bar. Trafford had it covered, I think. Goal kick.
Yeah,
it is still Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. They lead through Justin Kluivert's goal in the 14th minute.
As I said, you can't score from there with a free kick. You got nowhere near.
Burnley go short with the goal kick. Kluivert presses and puts them under pressure. They do play out trouble on this occasion. They're on the edge of their own 18-yard area. Back to their goalkeeper James Trafford, who's in no hurry, just with the ball at his feet. And again, the home crowd get a little bit frustrated that he's taking so long. Chris Mepham, big header. Trafford lifted it towards the halfway line. Mepham read it well and got there ahead of Fofana.
Do you know what? I think he can take that on the chest or a cushion header if someone tells him. He had it was a 50-yard header in the end. Didn't need to go that far.
And again, the jeers, because James Trafford, the goalkeeper, is just taking an absolute age. They're 1-0 down. He's just got the ball at his feet and he's slowly dribbling it forward. And the frustration, the fans gesturing around us. And he just passes it along the ground forward to the halfway line, and Fofana goes straight back to his goalkeeper.
We're going to have to go back again in a minute.
And then Sanderberg nearly runs straight into Ryan Christie, and Christie's hurt his knee there, I think. He's just got up, he's hobbling. He's going to try and run it off. Just a little collision. Bournemouth lead 1-0. Burnley have had 75% of the possession in this first half. Here's Fofana through the middle. Fofana, Neto, big save. It comes back out to Brun Larsen, and that's a huge block from Adam Smith. Neto was out of position having made the initial save. Brun Larsen with the goal wide open. Adam Smith with his hands behind the back to avoid giving away a handball, stood big and strong and got the block in, and that's why it's still Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1.
Yeah, excellent work there. I'm just looking down. Semenyu's getting booked.
Yellow card for Semenyo for a tackle on Brun Larsen. I think it is down in a heap off the pitch at the moment, right in front of us.
He sort of just seemed to get a chance. He just pulls his arm, doesn't he?
He's just pulled him to the ground after the ball has gone.
Complete drama by the Burnley player.
Yeah,
obviously, but it wasn't that bad.
So yellow card for Antoine Semenyo. Big moment in the game, that. Just seeing a replay of it now. Fofana was through the middle. Neto came out, did really well. And then with Neto out of position, it fell to Brun Larsen on the rebound. And that is heading in, I think. Mepham was getting back to the line, but that is a huge block from Adam Smith.
Yeah, arms behind his back. Really classy stuff.
May well have hit his own player, as we see a replay again. A Burnley player, I'm not sure it was, went bundling over and fell over in front of the goal. And the shot, had it not been blocked by Adam Smith, may well have hit him. But either way, Smith wasn't to know. Really important from the Cherries right back. And a big save from Neto as well. Burnley in possession on the halfway line. Fofana has dropped deep to receive the ball to his feet. Zabani's followed him all the way up to the halfway line, and they go back to James Trafford again. 2.5 minutes to go until half time.
Frustrated, the Burnley fans, you can feel it.
Bournemouth leads,
you can hear it,
by a goal to nil through Justin Kluivert. They're frustrating the home supporters, the Cherries, this afternoon, or helping to add to the frustration, which is mainly coming from Burnley's possession football at the back. Start getting your thoughts into Ian Wilding, please, back in the studio. We'll guide you through the half-time break. At Solent Sport is where you can get in touch with Waldo on social media, on Twitter, X. 08000 321 333, the WhatsApp number. Start your message with the word Solent, please. 81333 on the text. Here come Burnley again. Sander Berg, edge of the box. Cut off by Kirkes, pushed wide right of the area. It's got Vitinho in support as well. Instead opts for the square ball to Cullen. Late tackle by Justin Cliver, right on the edge of the box. Cullen's gone down inside the area. It will be a free kick to Burnley. 19 yards out, right side of the area. Yellow card for Justin Cliver. More defending for Bournemouth to do at the end of this first half.
Yeah, just psychologically, if you can get in at half time and you're ahead. Oh, it's a heavy one, that. He stood on his ankle.
He was outside the box. That looks nasty on the replay from Justin Cliver. Just clumsy,
yeah.
But he stood on his ankle. Cullen's back up on his feet and looks okay. No real intent from Justin Cliver. He was just going for the ball. I think he got it wrong. Well, so this free kick is over on the far side. Near enough in line with the right corner. Just slightly in. 19 yards out. Three-man wall for Bournemouth. Neto's lining it up at the moment. Everyone is forward for Burnley. Being placed down by Charlie Taylor, who's the left-footed option, I think.
Yeah,
it is Charlie Taylor over there.
I'm not sure that wall's going to do much.
And Brun Larsen has stood over it. Trying to see the numbers from this far away, right at the back of the north stand, is near impossible sometimes. Seconds to go until half time, plus any stoppage time. We're about to find out, I think, from the fourth official, Darren Bond. Meanwhile, free kick. It's whipped in, right-footed, kept out by Neto, was it? Some appeals that it crossed the line. Neto was nearly caught out of position there. Brun Larsen went for goal. I think Neto was expecting the cross to come and he went scrambling back across goal.
Jordan,
no alert from the goal line technology for the referee.
Unbelievable save.
And Neto's done really well with a strong left arm.
That could be save of the season for him.
To keep that ball out somehow.
I thought he'd gone beyond him.
Corner for Burnley. Bournemouth 1-0 up. Some big saves from Neto in the last couple of minutes. It's not a great corner. It does make its way into the box. It's headed back in by Vitinho on the edge of the area. Semenyo wins a header. Back to Vitinho though. Finds space for Charlie Taylor down this near left-hand side. Taylor gets the cross in towards the 6-yard area. Headed goalwards and headed over. Vitinho unmarked. 6 yards out. Couldn't keep the header down. Goal kick. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1, and Burnley have had 3 good opportunities at the end of this first half to find an equaliser.
Well, Vitinho just pulled off. We'll have to see the game, but what the two centre halves, he seemed to have a yard in front.
Pulled away from
behind.
Mepham.
Well, you need help there. To adjust your position back a yard. Got to be quick and brief.
So we've had the Neto save, Smith block, double save if you like, to deny Fofana and Larsen. We've then had the free kick saved by Neto from Brun Larsen, and then that header over the bar from, I think, less than 6 yards out in the end from Vitinho. And Bournemouth are trying to break down the other end. Kirkes' cross is closed down, it goes into the away end. And it'll be a corner to Bournemouth. Can they find a second before half-time? I missed the fourth official's board. Willow, did you see it?
No, didn't see it.
I'm not sure how long we've got left. We're into nearly 2 minutes of stoppage time already. Lewis Cook will take the corner over on the far side. Can they find a moment of quality here, Bournemouth? Everyone forward bar Adam Smith. Kirkes and Tavernier are lurking on the edge of the box. Left arm up in the air by Lewis Cook. Right-footed, curling under the crossbar, just over the head of Zabani. Back out to Tavernier, who shoots first time. Slices his left-footed shot. And it's curling so much, it's bounced and stayed in somehow. And gone out for a throw-in eventually.
That is the most incredible strike. Inside the box almost. And manages to keep it on the pitch.
Ian Wilding back in the studio thinks it was 6 minutes of stoppage time. Thank you, Waldo. So another 3 near enough to go, and again the Bournemouth fans erupt into song. Here's Dominic Solanke, left side of the Burnley box, in front of those travelling Bournemouth fans. Can't keep it under control. Burnley will play their way out of trouble and eventually go long by The centre circle cut off by Adam Smith. Here's Semenyo just inside the Burnley half, right side for the Cherries, near side. Back to Zabani. Zabani, lovely touch away from Fofana under pressure, and then Fofana still there alongside him, so he goes back to Neto, and Neto goes long again, out to the left-hand side, sweeping ball, looking for Kirkes, beaten to the header by Vitinho. Then there's a battle in the middle of the park, lovely ball from Fofana, out to Vitinho, who's continued his run, marked closely by Kirkes, heavy touch by Vitinho, and that allows Kirkes in, and he can clear out on the far side, 6 yards out the throw-in will be, down the Burnley right.
Yeah, good work by Kirkes, it was important he got the ball. And he just got the tackle in, knocked it out for the throw-in. Still defending to do.
Essignon will take the throw in, the right back. So he's come a little bit deeper, so about 8 yards out. He's going to launch a long one into the area. In it comes. It's over the head of Lewis. Mepham wins the header though behind him, but the ball bounces back into the Bournemouth box. It's at the feet of Odebear. It's now halfway inside Bournemouth's half, through the middle. It's just a bit of head tennis as it bounces around. Mepham goes long. Trafford's come a long way out of his goal and clears on the volley out to the far side, brought under control by Fofana, beautifully out of the sky. Still Fofana. Vitinho on the overlap, low cross in. Chris Mepham cuts it off at the front post, behind for a corner, and that's got the home crowd going.
Well, the goalkeeper did incredibly well there to keep the ball in. Now we've got to defend this, and he'll blow his whistle.
Corner over on the far side. Brun Larsen will take. Places the ball down. Everyone's back defending inside the 18-yard area for Bournemouth, including Dominic Solanke at the front post. It's taken short. Odebear. Back out to Brun Larsen. Here's Odebear again. Odebear, left-footed cross in. Solanke cuts it off. Then Christie gets his body between the ball and clears. Not very far. Back out to Odebear. Left-footed shot is charged down. Ball's up into the sky. Drops to Fofana. Surrounded by Bournemouth shirts, but Burnley are still in possession here. They send it back out to the right-hand side. Charlie Taylor to the byline. Sliding tackle. Important tackle by Chris Mepham.
Great tackle.
He gets up, wins the second ball and clears up towards the halfway line. And Justin Clivert's going to chase it down now on Dara O'Shea. O'Shea gets there first and goes back to Trafford, the goalkeeper. 5 minutes of stoppage time, so another one to go. Bournemouth 1-0 up away at Burnley. Semenyo gets across and bundles over, and Semenyo needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Bundles over Maxime Estev there. The home supporters want him sent off. Referee David Coote not interested.
He won't get sent off for that. It's only a push. But now we've got to have a look at him at half time and see if he wants to take him off, because he runs a close line between getting another yellow and not.
Clivert and Semenyo both on yellow cards for the Cherries. Dara O'Shea's in the book for Burnley. Remember, Marcos Senesi's gone off injured as well early on in this first half with a hamstring problem, which is why Chris Mepham is on. More defending for Bournemouth to do at the end of this first half. Free kicks down in front of us, halfway inside the Cherries' half. 5 yards in from the left touchline. Brun Larsen places it down. Clivert's the one-man wall. Everyone is back again defending for Bournemouth on the edge of the 18-yard area. He delivers to the top of the box. Essignon gets the flick on, but it's out to this left-hand side of the area. And the flag is up for offside against Burnley, and that will just calm things down for Bournemouth. That's Solent Sport, please, for your verdict on this first half. What have you liked about it? What would you potentially change? Are you worried about Semenyo? There is the half-time whistle from David Coote. Bournemouth go in a goal up thanks to Justin Clivert's strike on 14 minutes. There have been some big chances at the end of the first half for Burnley to equalise. Some huge saves from Neto and a big important block from Adam Smith too. John Williams, your thoughts please on that first 45?
Yeah, I think when it comes to being clinical, we've got the goal. We're ahead on that one. Burnley started the game with some bouts of possession, but then I felt just before we scored the goal we'd had a good little run. We got up the pitch. There'd been some chances to get crosses in, and then eventually Clivert took a fantastic touch, just pulled himself back in and smashed the ball home right past the goalkeeper. It was a fantastic strike, and yeah, I would say we just about deserve it going into half time.
A few boos around Turf Moor at half time, I think aimed at some of the home players and manager, possibly referee David Coote. Bournemouth won't mind. The home fans are a little frustrated. They lead by a goal to nil. At Solent Sport, please, for your verdict on social media. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. 81333 on the text. Again, starting your messages with the word Solent. Ian Wilding will take you through half-time. But at the break, here at Turf Moor, it's Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Just the one goal then at Turf Moor. Fortunately for the Cherries, it's come for the away side.
Sends it over the top, looking for the run of Kluivert. Kluivert's in behind again. Onto his left foot, onto his right foot, Justin Kluivert! Bournemouth lead away at Burnley. Lovely touch from Kluivert to skip away from the defender and then smash it past Travers. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert with his 6th goal of the season.
Well, despite the lead, Paul on Twitter isn't happy. He says, ugly football again. Sadly, this reminds me of many Premier League performances of the past. Alan from Chepstow's happier though. A great first half for Bournemouth. Let's hope the second half is just as good, says Alan. If you want to get in touch, get us your verdict at half-time. Text 81333, Solent your first word. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, put Solent at your start of your message. Or you can tweet us at Solent Sports. We'll go through all the sports news locally and nationally between now and the second half. We'll keep reading out those tweets, texts and WhatsApp messages, and we'll look back at yesterday's action. Victories for Southampton and Portsmouth in the Championship and League One. We'll hear from the manager, Russell Martin of Southampton, and head coach of Portsmouth, John Messino. All to come on the home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent Sport.
Hi, I'm Kylie Minogue. It's time to say thank you to the brave, the courageous, the unsung heroes.
The Make a Difference Awards.
It was a huge boost for the whole team.
Having something like that award just says, look, this is what we've achieved.
Ordinary people who do quite extraordinary things.
For a full list of categories and details how to nominate, go to bbc.co.uk/makeadifference, where you can see our full terms and privacy notice. Nominations are open now and close on Sunday the 10th of March at 11 p.m.
The BBC Make a Difference Awards.
BBC Radio Solent.
Thank you all for making a difference.
BBC Radio Solent Sport with Ian Wilding.
Good afternoon. Just over 10 minutes before the second half gets underway then at Turf Moor. Bournemouth leading by a goal to nil away at Burnley thanks to Kluivert's strike. Elsewhere then in sports news today in football, we'll soon find out the starting 11, 2:30. It will be announced between City and United as Manchester Derby takes place this afternoon at the Etihad. That's a 3:30 kickoff. Certainly is crucial for both sides' Premier League campaigns. City 4 points behind leaders Liverpool with a game in hand, while United can move within 3 points of Tottenham in 5th place. In the Scottish Premier League, it looks like Celtic are heading for defeat against Hearts right now. They trail by 2-0. The champions have failed to capitalise on their chance to return to the top of the table by the looks of it, above Rangers. Brendan Rodgers' side are currently 2-0 down. They were reduced to 10 men in the first half and conceded to a penalty, having missed one themselves. They are 2 minutes into stoppage time in that game. At the World Indoor Championships in Glasgow, Great Britain qualified for the women's 4x400 metre final with a national record. The final takes place at 8:30 this evening. Meanwhile, GB's Gemma Reekie will compete in the women's 800 metres final. That takes place tonight at 9:20. In Formula 1, Red Bull's Max Verstappen has continued the dominance he enjoyed in Formula 1 last season with victory in the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix. His teammate Sergio Perez made it a 1-2 finish. Ferrari duo of Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc finished 3rd and 4th respectively. There's also a couple of minutes away before our women's football matches gets underway locally. Southampton go to Sunderland. That's a couple of minutes away. A huge game for Saints and a long trip for Saints as well. A round trip of more than 600 miles. Third go to first. Southampton 1 point behind leaders Sunderland with Crystal Palace sandwiched in between. And Saints have been on an international break. They were last in action, like the men's, at Birmingham at St Andrews 2 weeks ago when they came away with a 2-1 victory. In the National League South Premier Division, also a 2 o'clock kickoff. Portsmouth go to Cardiff. Pompey have a 6-point lead at the top. 14 wins out of 15 as well. It seems inevitable they'll be going up to the Championship. Cardiff are 7th. They've just won 5 of their 15 games this season. In the league below, in the 4th tier, in Division 1 South West, AFC Bournemouth away at Bridgewater Town has been postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. That's a shame for the Cherries, who've only dropped 2 points all season after 12 games. They were looking to play catch-up. They're 9 points behind leaders Exeter with 3 games in hand. Bridgewater are currently 7th. While Southampton Women's FC go to Maidenhead United, the Sirens are 2nd from bottom with 5 points from 12 games. Maidenhead are 8th, 3 places above Southampton in the table. I can imagine they're out on the pitch there as well. They're just about a minute away from kick-off. BBC Radio Solent Sport. Bournemouth in action away at Burnley. Clivert strike separating the two sides. Cherries winning by a 1-0 so far at half-time. Simon in Hayling says, just brilliant save by Neto. It was a fantastic save earlier. Some have thought it across the line, but it didn't. We just need Tavernier to have a shot on target, says Simon in Hayling. 81333 on the text. Solent your first word. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, make Solent your first word, or you can tweet us at Solent Sport. Certainly you're divided so far this afternoon on the tweets, texts and WhatsApps. A poor first half performance, says Paul Faulkner, needs to tighten up midfield. Lucky to be in front. Come on Bournemouth. Billing Scott to come on. Not closing down quick enough and giving them too much time in midfield. What do you think of that? Do you agree? Get in touch. We'll hear from Portsmouth head coach John Messino very soon as well here on BBC Radio Solent Sport. But before we do that, it was a breathless affair for Southampton yesterday as they scored late to win 4-3 away at Birmingham. And with Leicester and Leeds dropping points, the win for Saints was crucial. After the game, manager Russell Martin spoke to Adam Blackmore.
Well, this club might be the death of me after that. I don't know how you're feeling. How you doing?
I don't know. I'm delighted with the win. I think we deserve it to come away from home and have as many shots as we have. And there was so much good football, like some incredible performances. Just to start with a negative, we conceded 3 rubbish goals, and that has to stop. We can't keep having to score that many goals to win a game, especially when, honestly, some of the stuff the lads played was incredible today. But we conceded really poor goals, and that has to stop. At 3-2. We should never let them back in with 10 men, so very frustrated. And then fortunately for us, the subs have had a good impact again, which is nice. The crowd was incredible, and it's ended up being a good day. So I was so happy with so much of the stuff. If we cut out the nonsense at the minute in our own box, because that's what it is, I feel. I said to the players, thank you. Then if we cut that out and we play that way, then we have a real chance of that team so clear, the identity, what they're doing, they're moving for each other, they're playing for each other. Wednesday night was so good for us, and they carried that on tonight. So, yeah, the balance at the minute is between both boxes not quite good enough, so we need to make sure we start defending properly, because we were so good for such a long period of time, and that's not been good enough recently, and the players know that. But some of the play, some of the football we played, and the way the team looks was incredible.
It was certainly, for me, the most incisive you've been in the final third for a while, the most, and getting the ball forward quickly and getting into dangerous areas. That was so much better than it had been in some games. Just a shame that those things at the back are just making you have to work so hard to win a game.
And it's tough, like to get a complete performance is so difficult, because you focus on one thing and then something else maybe you give up a little bit, but we can't. The players are too good for that, and but that's my fault. I need to look at that and make sure we as a coaching staff are trying to address everything and touch on everything. So we went from Millwall to not looking anywhere near dangerous enough in the second half, to being so incisive at Liverpool and should have scored more goals. So then the focus here was to, in that final third, to really start opening teams up, or trying to, and they did it amazingly well. But then, so now we know what we have to focus on. It's defending our goal properly, and that will give us even more of a chance than what we have done recently. So and then we hope that if we put some focus on that we then don't lose the other part of our game. So we are trying, obviously, get a team that competes and looks as complete as possible. It's not always easy.
No, and it is. We talked about it being a start of a big week, so to win like that is fabulous, because we all know Leicester have dropped points now and Leeds have dropped points, but it's such a big week after a tough spell to get that 90-odd minute boost, whatever it was, makes a huge difference to the rest of the week, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so, and hopefully everyone that watched it and everyone that was here, because the crowd were amazing, really brilliant. So I'm pretty sure we were written off before today in the promotion race. I said to the players before, you look at Sky Sports and the race for promotion, and we've got one game on there in about a month, which is fine. I think it's been like that most of the season. So we are 8 points from first and 5 points off second with 11 games to go. There was a quarter of the season left at half time today, so Colin Caldwell and Matt Gill done their maths. So it's going to be exciting. I said that to you, and we need to make sure we perform that way with the ball as we have done in the last 2 games, but be better defensively, and if we do, we have a right chance.
Nice for Joe as well. We've said what a great bloke. We know he's a great lad he is. He's come back, but what a moment for him.
Yeah, he's also a great player. So I think everyone's seen a really different Joe Aribo this season than what they've seen last, and I've loved it. I absolutely love him as a person and as a player, and he was unlucky not to play today. Really, he was so good on Wednesday, but it's the first 90 minutes he's had for a long time. So we knew today he might be an important sub, and he was.
Southampton boss Russell Martin there speaking to Adam Blackmore after Saints' 4-3 win at Birmingham. A late goal from Joe Aribo in the Championship. Saints next in action live on BBC Radio Solent Sport Wednesday night at home to Preston North End. I'm Ian Wilding. Second half getting underway in under 5 minutes time at Turf Moor between Burnley and Bournemouth. About 3 minutes in fact in the second half, and we'll cross over to your commentary team. The Cherries leading by 1-0. Thanks for that strike from Kluivert. On the way from 4 o'clock this afternoon, Tony Blackburn with the music you love and fun on the phones with Tony. That's from 4 o'clock. And we've got a text here from Ross in Plymouth who says Bournemouth are winning but have been pure average. Is that something you agree with? Get your thoughts in. Text 81333, Solent your first word. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, make Solent your first word, or tweet us at Solent Sport. Before we cross back to Burnley, though, Portsmouth had to dig deep to beat Oxford United 2-1 at Fratton Park yesterday in League One. Callum Lang put Pompey ahead inside the first 90 seconds, but the visitors levelled soon afterwards before Christian Sadie won it in the second half with his first league goal for the club. Portsmouth 7 points clear at the top of the table. Head coach John Messino gave his thoughts to Andy Moon after the game.
John, how would you describe that win?
Important. Brilliant result. I think you describe it as a brilliant result with the fact that it was a really good game of football. I thought 2 good sides going at it, and Oxford caused us plenty of problems. There were times in the game where I thought, okay, this is going to be tough to get a result out of this game, and I think I was proved right, because it was a really good afternoon of football, and I think Oxford could probably count themselves slightly unlucky to come away with no points from their efforts, but at this stage of the season the only thing that matters is winning.
How important is that ability to dig in? We saw that really against Reading in that first 30 minutes when it's not going your way and not concede.
Massively important, really, and the game started really well for us, obviously, with the goal. The tempo was up there, and I thought we reacted really well after going a goal up as well. Probably didn't react brilliantly well to the equaliser. Maybe felt a bit sorry for ourselves, but it came against the run of play, and we were the architects of our own downfall there. But we had plenty to deal with, to be honest. A really good Oxford side with plenty of good players. The best I've seen them play in a few weeks, and I think they'll cause a lot of sides a lot of problems. So I think the sign of a side that is hopefully going in the right direction is one that can grind out a win and score goals from different places and score goals from different players, and thankfully we did that today.
Saw you all chatting the coaching staff. Whose idea was throw Christian Sadie on?
I think it was collective, to be honest. I honestly don't know. We discuss a lot of substitutions before the game, and we think about different scenarios, and I'm sure everybody does. But one of the things that we do when Zesh comes down at half-time is I just ask John and Zesh to work on substitutions and different things that we can possibly do. It looked to us like Lange had obviously been booked in the first half, and there were a couple of, I think, 3 or 4 challenges after that, and we wanted to protect him. He picked up a knock as well, so we were looking at bringing Lange off. We've got plenty of options, really.
Portsmouth head coach John Messino speaking to Andy Moon after that win against Oxford United yesterday. But the players are out onto the pitch now. We'll get the second half underway for you. All radio Solent frequencies, BBC Sounds app, smart speaker and BBC Sport website and app. The Cherries leading by 1-0 currently at Turf Moor. Can they get the job done? Your summariser, John Williams. Your commentator, Jordan Clark.
Thanks, Wilder. Welcome back to Turf Moor, where we're going to see a change for Bournemouth at half-time, so their second of the afternoon. Alex Scott is coming on, and it looks like Ryan Christie is not back out there for the second half. We mentioned that it looked like he picked up a bang to the knee towards the end of that first half. It is Ryan Christie now, just confirmed by fourth official Darren Bond. So that a blow for Bournemouth in terms of losing Christie, but a good opportunity for Alex Scott to come on and try and make something happen for Bournemouth now. They lead through Justin Kluivert's goal in the 14th minute. Bournemouth in this second half will shoot from our right to left towards the Jimmy McIlroy stand. They are in yellow and blue away tops today, navy blue shorts, yellow socks. Burnley are in claret and blue. Will shoot from our left to right towards the cricket field stand away to our right hand side, which houses the travelling Bournemouth fans this afternoon. Bournemouth are ready to get us back underway, and referee David Coote does blow his whistle and get things started in the second half. Live on BBC Radio Solent and the BBC Sounds app across the UK. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1 in the Premier League. John Williams, what do you make of that change then for the Cherries?
Yeah, I can only think they've got a chance here.
Tavernier down the left, low cross in, cut off by Assignon. Still there for Bournemouth because Kirkes is advanced far forward to help Tavernier, and here is Kirkes to the byline, foot in from Assignon. Corner to Bournemouth, is it? No, it came off of Kirkes' last goal kick. I'll do the team sheet in full in a moment.
Yeah,
Willow,
okay.
just your thoughts on that change?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did get some sort of knock, as you pointed out, and, you know, Scott is the ideal man to come in. He's getting fitter and fitter as he gets more game time, and hopefully he can chip in with a goal.
So Bournemouth Neto in goal, 4-2-3-1. Smith, Zabani and Mepham alongside Zabani after Senesi went off with a hamstring problem early on in the first half. Milos Kirkes is at left back, Lewis Cook and now Alex Scott alongside him in midfield for Bournemouth. Semenyo down the right, who's on a yellow card. Justin Kluivert in the number 10, also on a yellow card, and Marcus Tavernier down the left. Dominic Solanke leads the line. Bournemouth bench, Travers the sub-goalkeeper, left to call on if Andoni Iraola requires them. Young Max Kinsey. There's a long ball forward from Burnley into the Bournemouth box. There's a foul on Adam Smith. Roman Fev, Phil Billing, Dongo Watara, Luis Sinistera and Enis Unal. Burnley have James Trafford in goal. Their back four is Assignon, O'Shea, Esteve and Taylor. O'Shea is on a yellow card. Their midfield four, Vitinho, Berg, Cullen, Odebear, and then Brun Larsen is in behind Fofana, although that sort of attacking wide men very fluid for Burnley. Sometimes they dip in more centrally, sometimes they're out on the wing. Here is Brun Larsen over on the left hand side. They get Burnley going towards the halfway line. Odebear inside the centre circle. They'll go back to O'Shea about halfway inside the Burnley half. They'll work it out to Cullen down this near right hand side. Here's Vitinho. Bournemouth had a lot of defending to do at the end of the first half. Two big saves from Neto. Vitinho headed over the bar from close range, and there was an important block in there from Adam Smith as well to keep the scoreline at 1-0. Burnley enjoying 74% of the possession in the first half. Bournemouth more than happy to let them have it, Willow, and they sit back and try and hit them on the break. But it's not been offside. The greatest of games.
Yeah, just caught on offside there, Maps. Yeah, it's not been not being the sort of game we expected. I thought it'd be more open. Both teams probably realise how important it is for the 3 points, and that sometimes can tie you up a bit.
Ball's over on the far side, the Burnley left. They send it down the line, looking for Odebear. He's going to have a darting run infield now to the top of the box where he's looking for Fofana. The Chelsea loanee can't bring it under control. Kirkes closed him down quickly. It will be a goal kick to Bournemouth as it ricochets out and behind. Neto's in his green goalkeeper kit this afternoon. He will take his time, and again Zabani and Mepham are inside the 18-yard area, just on the corners of the 6-yard box. But every goal kick so far today, Neto has sent it long up over the halfway line, and it looks like he's going to do the same again now.
Well, it'd be interesting to see if we could get 2-0 ahead. Would he go?
Find Solanke, and then
offside.
It works to Semenyo, who's crept into an offside position.
Yeah.
Free kick to Burnley. How do you get Dominic Solanke into the game more in this second half, Willow?
Yeah, I mean, he's one of them you have to keep feeding, don't you? I prefer to see him in a race. If you can knock the ball inside the full-back and let him chase onto it, I think you get better results out of Semenyo.
Here's Odebear on the halfway line. Finds Sander Berg, and they work it out to the left-hand side. Brun Larsen, square ball, top of the box. Odebear again, lays it back towards Cullen, he's charged down, and Signon can't bring it under control, and Bournemouth have a bit of space now down this near left side. Lewis Cook with the ball at his feet, sends it down the line, looking for Tavernier. Signon recovers well and gets a foot in. It'll be a throw into Bournemouth just inside the Burnley half, down in front of us, the Cherries left.
Well, I'm wondering if he'll do his usual wing change, 65 minutes or so. We'll wait and see, keep you updated on that.
Kirkes with the throw-in, advances down the line, looking for Solanke. Solanke lets it bounce, it's over the head of Estev. Can Solanke get on the other side of him? Not quite. Estev recovers well and finds a Signon down this near side, the Burnley right. He's pressed back towards the corner flag by Marcus Tavernier. Tavernier did well and wins a throw-in for Bournemouth deep inside the Burnley half.
Yeah, did do well there, Tav. Just waited for the moment and let him kick it out.
It's been a glorious day here in Lancashire. Sunshine, blue skies. It's just clouded over now. The rolling hills in the distance opposite us, up and behind the Bob Lord stand, are still visible, and the row after row of terraced housing. Ball's won inside the centre circle by Adam Smith. Kluivert brings it under control. That's a lovely touch by Kluivert to Alex Scott. Alex Scott's driving forward towards the box. He's looking up, seeing who's got in support. He's got Solanke to his left. He gets bundled over inside the area. Fairly so by Sander Berg, says the referee. Lovely little touch again from Justin Kluivert. He just has those little moments of real class and quality.
Yeah.
It's just set Alex Scott away there, like he did for his own goal.
I'm just looking, he seemed to catch his feet and then he was up again. No, he's looking for a penalty there.
Sander Berg just a bit stronger, Willow.
Yeah, he was looking for a penalty, to be fair.
Andoni Iraola is right on the edge of his technical area. I think he's screaming at David Coote, the referee. And we were just waiting for the VAR check there, although it didn't come up on the screens. So no penalty.
No.
Jared Gillett, good friend of AFC Bournemouth, is the VAR referee back at Stockley Park this afternoon. David Coote, the man in the middle here at Turf Moor. Foot in from Semenyo, throw into Burnley. Atmosphere flat as far as the home fans are concerned, not the away fans. Have a listen.
Yeah, still plenty of song in them. It's got awkward when you come to places like this, Burnley. They're either absolutely so passionate and behind their team, or you can tell, you can hear the doldrums already.
Andoni Iraola's name more than audible inside a quiet Turf Moor as far as the home fans are concerned. Bournemouth fans have been brilliant so far, and let's be honest, it's not been a great watch, despite their side leading 1-0 through Justin Kluivert's goal in the 13th minute. 8 minutes gone in the second half. BBC Radio Solent and the BBC Sounds app this afternoon across the UK. Here's Odegaard for Burnley. And Sander Berg inside the centre circle. Everyone is inside the Bournemouth half now, all 20 outfield players. And Neto as well, of course. Just James Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper, the only man inside the Burnley half at the moment. Burnley well advanced. They send it out to the right-hand side and Asenio on the right back. He's got Vitinho ahead of him. Instead he picks the square ball. Just outside the centre circle now, and Cullen to his right, there's space for Dara O'Shea. O'Shea does go direct over the top, finds Fofana, right side of the box, back to Asenio. Here's Cullen, just inside the area, finds Vitinho, can't get round the outside of Mepham. Mepham did well and then laid it off to Zabani, who cleared, and then Kluivert was looking to break but slipped, and Burnley have it back with their goalkeeper James Trafford.
Yeah, he was unlucky there, Kluivert. If he could have got it down, he could have got some sort of counter-attack going. I've got a feeling it's Phil Bill time.
Phil Billing's just been sent out to warm up. I think Enes Unal as well. James Trafford still with the ball at his feet, the Burnley goalkeeper. He's in highlighter pink this afternoon. Burnley through Estev, advanced towards the halfway line. And it's Estev again. Up to O'Shea. O'Shea on the halfway line is pressed by Kluivert and Solanke, and they go again back to the goalkeeper James Trafford. This time he does go long and direct, looking for the run of Brun Larsen. Too much on it, out of play. What do you make of their slow build-up play, Willow? Just give the ball to the goalkeeper and wait and wait and wait.
Well, it all comes with the territory of being down the bottom, doesn't it? And being a team that's out of form, fighting against relegation. The whole scenario just slows everything up.
Burnley 11 points from safety, 13 points on the board with 12 to go. 34 points for West Brom in 2004-2005, the lowest total that survived in the Premier League. That still seems a long way off for the Clarets.
Semenyo not happy there with the referee, thought he should have had a free kick over on that far right hand side.
And again, Bournemouth just more than happy here to sit right back inside their own half, let Burnley ping the ball around on the halfway line and sit on their 1-0 lead. Burnley switch it out to this near side, the Burnley right. Asignon keeps it in and lays it off towards Vitinho. He slips and Lewis Cook can nip in there, and can Tavernier break down the left? He can. He finds the runner Kluivert. Kluivert's got Solanke in the middle. Kluivert finds Solanke, needs a good touch, gets one, shoots, saved by Trafford down to the right hand side. Tavernier picks up the rebound. Back out over on the right hand side, 18 yards out, just in off the touchline. Overlapping run coming from Adam Smith. Tavernier instead goes back to the halfway line.
Oh, that was an excellent chance. I just thought Kluivert could have took one more touch and then passed it to Dominic.
The ball just sent Solanke a little bit further wide than perhaps he wanted to. Here's Semenyo, right side of the box, lovely touch. Tavernier side netting. Antoine Semenyo with a moment of just beauty there. One touch into the path of Marcus Tavernier. Tavernier, the angle was too tight, into the side netting, goal kick. Two really good moments for Bournemouth to extend their lead, but it's still 1-0.
Definite chances, big chances. Kluivert just could have took it towards the goalkeeper and Dominic would have had a simple tap-in.
Just seeing the replays of that first chance, Kluivert was well onside. To be fair to him, he played it nice and early, as you say, Willow.
Yeah, too early.
Too early, in your opinion.
Got to take the goalkeeper out of the equation.
I do wonder, though, if he takes that second touch, whether the two Burnley defenders are then back and blocking the ball to Dominic Solanke. Solanke would have backed himself to score that in the form that he's in this season. He's been moving fine, Willow, as well, Dominic Solanke, managing that knee injury.
Yeah, they must be looking after him well.
That left knee's been strapped back up with the black tape for Solanke for the second half after it peeled off in the first. Here's Kirkes defending on the edge of his own area, wins a good header, and then the clearance isn't quite good enough to reach Tavernier, and Burnley get a foot in. It's out of play. Tackle from Kirkes, so a throw into Vitinho. Will go back towards the halfway line down this near right hand side, and O'Shea carrying a yellow card for Burnley. 13 minutes gone in the second half. Live on BBC Radio Solent and the BBC Sounds app. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert's goal in the 13th minute. It's officially gone down as. The difference between the two sides so far. And Dominic Solanke is chasing and harrying Sander Berg on the halfway line. Berg does well, turns away from trouble. And Burnley will try and get going down the left side, the far side. In front of the stand named after their former chairman, Bob Lord. Throw in halfway inside the Bournemouth half, back towards the halfway line. Here's Cullen and Berg inside the centre circle. Justin Kluivert is alongside him. Off to the right hand side, and Dara O'Shea. O'Shea, early ball into the box. It's over the head of Fofana, and Zabani gets a good header in, but it's back with Burnley again. Again, Bournemouth just soaking up the pressure, letting Burnley have the possession.
Yeah, not forcing much though, Burnley. Scott just got beat there.
Sander Berg through the middle here. He's got space down the left-hand side for Brun Larsen. Taylor's there on the overlap. Here is Taylor. Bit of space, left side of the box. Early cross in towards the front post. Zabani again with the header. The tall Ukrainian with a little jump into the air and nods it out of the box. It's back with O'Shea, the centre-back for Burnley, inside the centre circle. He's got Asignon down the right and finds him. 20 yards out, tight to the touchline. He's going to have a run at Tavernier. In onto his left foot, top of the box. Got Odegaard to his left. Finds Odegaard. Cullen joins in. Bournemouth holding the play up, about 25 yards out. It's out to the right. Early cross in. It drops to Odegaard, shoots. It's blocked by Zabani and then cleared by Tavernier. More frustration from the home fans. They've had their moments, Burnley, when they found themselves in space inside the Bournemouth box.
Yeah,
they've not been able to do anything with it.
No, we've got some good blocks in though, I'll tell you. Dear me, there's 3 blocks there.
Coming down the left again, here is Audebert, left side of the box, marked closely by Semenyo on a yellow card. So he stays on his feet, Antoine Semenyo. Brun Larsen over there as well, Charlie Taylor too. Here's Fofana, left side of the box to the byline, too much on his touch, it's out of play. It's a goal kick to Bournemouth, they still lead by a goal to 0.
Fofana there, just trying to flick it over Mepps' foot. Didn't quite come off.
Bournemouth looking to do their first double of the season after their 2-1 win over Burnley. Back at the Vitality Stadium in October, that brilliant goal from Phil Billing from near enough the halfway line to seal the victory. Would be their first double over Burnley in a season too.
It's quite remarkable, been coming here for many years in all capacities.
A bad record here at Turf Moor, just the 1 league win. Did win the last time they were here, the Cherries, in the FA Cup 2-0, en route to the quarter-finals. Surridge and Stanislas with the goals in that game.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. A little press on the edge.
Good pressing by Bournemouth on the edge of the Burnley 18-yard area. Tavernier wins no, he doesn't, comes off of him last, so it'll be a throw-in to Burnley, about 25 yards out down this near right-hand side. And the last time we were here in the league for Bournemouth, February 2020, we'll remember it well. You'll remember it well. Bournemouth with 2 goals chalked off for VAR, lost 3-0 in the end. The second one, which was chalked off by Harry Wilson, was for a handball by Adam Smith in the penalty area, so they went all the way back to the other end, and Burnley scored from the penalty spot.
Absolutely
double whammy.
Ridiculous.
And of course, that was very close to COVID-19. I can remember talking to you about it, Willow, in the press box ahead of the game. This mysterious virus that everyone was chatting about. You're not missing anything on the pitch. It's standard Burnley just pinging the ball around on the halfway line. Send it out to the left now. Taylor. Infield to Cullen. Cullen shoots from a long way out. Comfortable for Neto, diving down to his left-hand side. Holds on to it. The Cherries goalkeeper. And then slowly gets back up to his feet.
Yeah, got to be careful of that. He's 25 yards out. Didn't really catch hold of that one, but somebody's got to close him down try and block the shot at the very least.
Antonio Iraola said it's been a difficult week for his squad. Haven't spent a great deal of time on the training pitch as they perhaps normally would do. It's been all about recovery after that intense 90 minutes against Man City, and then of course extra time against Leicester City on Tuesday evening.
Yeah. Just looking at the subs bench here, I think Phil Bill
could be imminent.
He is imminent, yeah.
He is standing and receiving instructions from Andoni Iraola. He's obviously spotted something he thinks Phil Billing can exploit.
Well, perhaps he can come on for Clivert and exploit this left-hand side of the pitch.
Here come Burnley again down the left-hand side, but the quality's just not there for the Clarets, and Semenyo cuts the ball off. Bournemouth again with all 11 players back inside their own half. This clearance is down the right-hand side now into the Burnley half. Solanke's underneath it. Solanke gets bundled over, about just under halfway inside Burnley's half, in 6 yards in from the right touch line. Solanke wins a free kick.
Yeah, a foul on Dominic, just trying to hold the ball up and wait for the cavalry to come.
Burnley are going to make a change too. Can't see who that is over on the far side, getting ready to come on for Burnley, but change is imminent. Phil Billing has gone and sat back down in the dugout, still got his bib on, so obviously that change not immediate for Bournemouth, having received instructions from Andoni Iraola. Meanwhile, free kick for the Cherries. Everyone forward now inside the Burnley half. It's over on the far side, the Cherries right. Tavernier doesn't deliver it well. Down low, cut off by the one-man wall. And now Burnley can try and break, can they? Through the middle. No options further forward accessible. Fofana is forward, so is Audebert and Vitinho. Here's Vitinho down the right now. Cut off by a mixture of Tavernier and Kirkes, and smashed out of play by Kirkes. Throw into Burnley.
Well, Tavernier, after the worst free kick you've ever seen, did magnificent. He must have run 120 metres to get back and just help win that ball back. It's a It's a Burnley throw.
Throwing over the head of Tavernier, it's into the Bournemouth box. Fofana brings it under control. He's marked by Kirkheads and Alex Scott. Back out to Asignon. Cross into the box is cleared by Chris Mepham. Did he mean to hit that free kick low, or did he just get it completely wrong?
He got it completely wrong. Absolutely.
and that's a frustration for Bournemouth, because they've not had many moments in the Burnley half, bar that Dominic Solanke chance, which was saved by Trafford in this second half. And there was a moment to deliver the ball into the box, and Tavernier fluffed his lines. Here come Burnley through the middle. Odebear turns away from Scott. He's still towards the halfway line. O'Shea's on the halfway line with the ball at his feet now. He's got Cullen to his left. Josh Cullen meets Cherry's wall in the form of Scott and Cliver. Instead he finds Sander Berg out to the left hand side now. Charlie Taylor cuts it back to Sander Berg, who's marked closely by Alex Scott, and then Cullen again turns away from Solanke this time. Still Cullen to the edge of the box, lays it off to Fofana. Fofana trying to sort his feet out. He's got Vitinho to his right. Vitinho to the byline, gets the cross in towards the back post, headed down and poked in. Equaliser for Burnley has been disallowed by referee David Coots for a free kick on Adam Smith inside the area at the back post. It was Josh Cullen who got the final touch into the back of the net. It will be checked, it will be reviewed, but I can't see them overturning the on-field decision. Smith up for the header, and he was bundled over at the back post, I think, by Brun Larsen. Cullen poked it in.
He's got his arm over the top of him, I think that's it.
And it will be a free kick to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Boos ring around Turf Moor. Good decision, John Williams, from David Coote.
Yeah, it was. It was at first it just looked like he jumped early, but when you seen the arm holding Smithy down, it's definitely a free kick.
Huge frustration on Vincent Kompany's face. Could not believe that goal was disallowed. He's got his arms in the air. He's in the ear of the assistant referee on the far side. Still no sign of Phil Billing, interestingly. He's going to sat back down. Oh no, he's back up, warming up again now. Phil Billing plays back underway. Bournemouth in possession just outside the centre circle. Burnley are waiting to make a change. Late tackle by Marcus Tavernier. Yellow card. Furious, the Burnley fans. You can hear them around us. They want Marcus Tavernier sent off. That was late from Tavernier.
Yeah, he didn't catch him. That's the main thing. It just looked worse.
He didn't catch him, did he, with his studs? He kind of wrapped his leg round him.
Listen, he's got to get Tav off, though.
Cullen it was, who's still down. He's back up on his feet now.
He's got to make a change with...
So Semenyo, Tavernier and Cliver all on a yellow card.
Nothing doing, though.
Tommy Elphick and Andy Iraola in discussion on the far side. Still no imminent activity on the Bournemouth bench. Free kick to Burnley. They've sent everyone into the Bournemouth half. James Trafford, the goalkeeper, will take it. It's just outside the centre circle in his half. Meanwhile, yellow card for Vitinho for some verbals to referee David Coote for obviously not sending off Marcus Tavernier.
Well, Vitinho, what are you doing that for? Your team's trying to chase a lead down, and you're giving the referee the old.
Jakob Brun Larsen is heading off for Burnley.
He's number 25, Zeki Amdouni.
And Zeki Amdouni comes on, having been dropped to the bench today. So he'll go up alongside Fofana. Free kick still to come. Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper, to take it. He slips, but he does lift it towards the edge of the Cherries' 18-yard area. Alex Scott gets up and wins the header. Semenyo is chasing down Charlie Taylor, whose ball is straight out of play. Throw in to Bournemouth, and Tommy Elphick has just handed some substitution notes to the fourth official, Darren Bond. Billing is now jogging back, and the bib is about to come off from Phil Billing. Meanwhile, the ball is back towards the Burnley 18-yard area. Trafford charged down by Justin Cliver, but doesn't mess around with it this time, sends it long into the Bournemouth half. Kirkes is underneath it. 24 minutes gone in the second half. Bournemouth 1-0 up away at Burnley. Alex Scott gives away a free kick. Central position, halfway inside the Bournemouth half.
Well, they're still 1-1 up. I thought he would have had them on by now. Going into 20 minutes to go. Usually made his substitutions at this stage.
Dead centre this free kick. Josh Cullen, who had the ball in the back of the net a few moments ago, disallowed for a foul by Brun Larsen on Adam Smith, which would have equalised for Burnley, who stood over the free kick. Everyone's on the edge of the Bournemouth box. Cullen delivers, little dinked sand wedge into the area. Defensive headers up in the air from Bournemouth, then Semenyo hooks it clear, but there's no one up towards the halfway line for Bournemouth. All back defending, so there's no out ball. Burnley will come again, over on the left-hand side. Taylor, little ball in towards Odobert, to the byline, his cross is charged down. Alex Scott doing the defending. Good defending from Scott, behind for a corner to Burnley.
Excellent defending by Scott. Scott's good look where he's going to put it in from was mighty dangerous.
Corner's taken short. Here's Odobert. Left edge of the box, lays it off to Cullen. Odobert again inside the area, he goes down, he feels he was caught there, I think possibly by Tavernier. Alex Scott was there as well. Bournemouth are going to break meanwhile towards the other end. It's Tavernier, he's one-on-one with Vitinho. Vitinho does really well, recovers.
Yeah, that'll be his.
Don't get too comfortable, they'll be watching that. Jared Gillett back at Stockley Park. There weren't too many appeals by the Burnley players, despite Odobert going down. Here they're on the break again. Fofana down the right-hand side, doesn't get round Mepham. Good foot in from Mepham. Excellent. Neto comes out, diving to the floor, claims at the feet of Mepham, just to take the sting out of it. No contact. It was Alex Scott. Tavernier was there as well, but it was Alex Scott. And are they going to... Oh, maybe a brush of the foot. But the way he's gone down, Willow...
I know.
Surely you go back and give him a yellow card for that.
Still trying to get Phil Bill on.
He's waiting now with tracksuit off, Phil Billing over on the far side. Meanwhile, Semenyo's coming down the right, heavy touch, out of play. Throw into Burnley. It's not been a pretty game out there this afternoon.
No, there's been a lot of scrapping, but I think that comes with the territory of, teams, one in a relegation and the other one fighting to get away from it.
Change at number 10 for Bournemouth. Billing on, Cliver off. What's the thinking, Willow, behind this?
No, I just think it's definitely fresh legs, but Phil Bill offers something a bit different, doesn't he? In midfield. Possibly keeps the ball better. 6'6" doesn't do any harm neither.
It looks like Billing might be going into the 8 and Alex Scott into the 10. Keep an eye on that, Willow. Billing more advanced again now. Bournemouth win it back. Tavernier, space for Kirkes down the left-hand side. About 15 yards out, left side of the box. Kirkes delivers the cross towards the back post. Semenyo's going to be able to keep it in. He's got time and space to look up and deliver a ball back into the area. Checks back onto his left foot, crosses in towards the area, no one at the back post, over the head of Solanke behind. Goal kick to Burnley. Bournemouth still lead by a goal to nil. Justin Clivert has just gone off, getting the only goal of the game so far in the first half, the 13th minute. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent, and we are across the UK on the BBC Sounds app and smart speakers this afternoon. John Williams.
Yeah, I still think there's goals in this game. Hopefully to the men in yellow and black. The way the crowd are, they're just trying to get behind Burnley as we go into the last stages.
Just really that Dominic Solanke chance though in the second half will have been very, very isolated up top. They spent a lot of time in their own half. Here's maybe another one that flags up
that
against
is so
Solanke.
Tight, but it doesn't matter. Oh dear. So Dominic who's in.
Everyone is in for a very nervy final 15 minutes as we head towards it. As things stand, given away by Kirkes. Here's Assignon right side of the box, crosses towards the back post. That's really poor from the Burnley right back. He had lots of options available to him further forward. He had Vitinho to his right. He had 2 or 3 claret and blue shirts inside the 18-yard area, and he's managed to smash it straight out for a goal kick to Bournemouth.
Here comes the crowd. We go into these down stages. Burnley trying to tend to get behind them for a big push.
Neto sends it long up over the halfway line. Finds Semenyo to Solanke, one-on-one with O'Shea, back to Semenyo, it's just wide. That came out of nowhere. It was started by Semenyo on the halfway line. Lovely ball to Solanke. Semenyo carried his run into the box and he couldn't get his shot on target. Willow.
Yes, it was a fantastic touch and Dominic just chopped it back to him. Tried to put it in the bottom corner but just got it wrong by a foot. You can hear the Burnley fans, they're really trying to back their team. Still 1-0 though.
Goal kick to Burnley. Trafford, the goalkeeper, will take it. Possession stats, Willow, still 76% to Bournemouth 24 in favour of Burnley. Here come Bournemouth again though, looking for Solanke. They're just looking for that one moment in the Burnley half. Nearly came then through Antoine Semenyo, but not able to hit the target.
Just winning the ball back there. Cookie, can he make it useful?
Cookie does well in front of Fofana.
Pass.
Space for Semenyo, right side of the box, 18 yards out. It's got Solanke, Tavernier ahead of him. Still Semenyo onto his left foot, it just sneaks past the post. That might even have brushed it. And Semenyo's got his head in his hands. Two big moments for Antoine Semenyo in the last couple of minutes to put Bournemouth clear of Burnley.
Yeah, you get to know Semenyo. I knew as soon as he comes in on that left foot, he was going to strike the goal. And that one was just inches wide.
Vitinho off for Burnley. And Manuel Benson is on. Was linked to Southampton in the January transfer window. The winger. They went for David Brooks in the end, Saints. On the score sheet again with a brilliant goal for Southampton. You heard it during the half-time break on BBC Radio Solent. In a crazy game for them at St Andrews. Good day actually yesterday for Bournemouth loanees. Kiefer Moore on target for Ipswich as well at the top end of the Championship. And congratulations to Gavin Kilkenny too, getting his first senior goal in Fleetwood's 4-2 win over Wigan. Big win for them at the bottom of the League One table. Bournemouth 1-0 up away at Burnley here. There is under 15 minutes to go now. Justin Kluivert's goal separating the two sides. Live on BBC Radio Solent.
No way that you can't take it from there, referee. Well done.
Bournemouth still have another window to make a change, remember, because Senesi went off in the first half with a hamstring injury. Then they made the change with Christie going off at half-time.
Yeah, of course they have, yeah.
And then Phil Billing on in the second half. Here's Lewis Cook. Cook in a battle with Asignon, and then there's a little bit of afters and a high five.
Well done. Shook hands with him. He's learnt from his send-off. Good.
And referee David Coote is calling them both back. The home fans are frustrated because they're like, look, they've high-fived.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of tension. They've said their bit. They're both ready to get on with the game, and David Coote wants to play his part in it all now and be the centre of attention.
There was a little bit of slapstick in between that, but then Cookie's head switches on. Hey, I'll get sent off. Thank you. Shake hands.
We spoke to Lewis Cook a couple of weeks ago about that balancing act in that defensive midfield role for Bournemouth that he's working on at the moment. Obviously got sent off earlier in the season, which cost Bournemouth badly against Wolves. He said he enjoys the physical side of the battle in midfield in that position. And he balanced it well there. Here's Alex Scott defending with help from Lewis Cook over on the far side. And there's a free kick given away. Is it in the end? It is to Burnley. Vincent Kompany's furious. It's just inside the Bournemouth half. Such a scrappy game.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way. And we win 1-0.
Burnley on the halfway line. Estev goes back to his goalkeeper Trafford. 79 minutes. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1 on BBC Radio Solent. Here's O'Shea, back to his goalkeeper Trafford. Good pressing from Bournemouth, frustrating the home fans. O'Shea again in the right back position, furious with his goalkeeper. He wants his goalkeeper to go long, his goalkeeper goes short, his goalkeeper Trafford turns and looks to Vincent Kompany as if to say, what do you want me to do, Gaffer? And Bournemouth will be delighted with that indecision and miscommunication as far as Burnley are concerned. And Marcus Tavernier is furious now because he feels that should have been a Bournemouth throw-in. Came off of him, the clearance. There'll be a Burnley throw-in down in front of us, just inside the Burnley half. Chris Mepham does well. Does really well. Still Chris Mepham up towards the halfway line. Tavernier joins in, out for a Burnley throw-in.
All the times we've been paid back to end up with draws have got to be in the minds of the players. You know, that's how you learn how to switch off.
Oh, Fofana's got round the outside of Mepham. Important tackle by Kerkez on the cover. Really important from Milos Kerkez there. Fofana got the better of Chris Mepham.
Well, that's what he's there for, to help his mate out.
It's going to be a corner to Burnley. They're 1-0 down. It's away to our right-hand side in front of the cricket field stand. The substitute, Manuel Benson, will take it short to Odebear. Benson onto his left foot, delivers towards the back post. Billings underneath it, can't get on up high enough to win the header. I think it might have been O'Shea at the back post, in fact.
I think why didn't he
headed out for a goal kick.
Wasn't the best of headers, was it? Seen him jumps early. Why mistimes it?
We are into the final 10 minutes here at Turf Moor. Still no further activity on the Bournemouth bench. Enes Unal is out warming up. Ndongo Ouattara, Luis Sinistera is out there as well. Neto goes long with the goal kick, flicked on by Billing towards Semenyo, flicks it on to Solanke, and then there's a heavy back pass towards Trafford. It put him in all sorts of bother. He did well, the Burnley goalkeeper, to send the ball up into the air and clear of his 18-yard area.
Heavy, it weighed a ton.
Ball over the top from Lewis Cook, looking for the run of Solanke inside the area. Solanke trips. O'Shea gets the header in, behind for a corner to Bournemouth. O'Shea went down and stayed down as well. I think he might have a bit of cramp. Corner for the Cherries. Big set piece coming up.
Yes, there is. If we could just get one here, that would be a fantastic end to the game. Set play, they must have one up their sleeve. Haven't seen too much today, have we?
Tavernier will take it on the far side, between the Bob Lord stand and the Jimmy McIlroy stand. Delivers it, left foot towards the front post. Phil Billing can't flick it on. It's another poor set piece from Marcus Tavernier. And then that's poor from Adam Smith, sending it back out towards...
I think the ball was all right. Phil Bill jumped under it. I think he could have got a flick on that, yeah.
I'll take it back then.
Yeah. Leave that one for Tav.
Smith's ball back out to Tavernier was straight into the Bob Lord stand. Throw into Burnley, halfway inside their own half. Estev just hesitates on the ball. Solanke nearly got in, but they got it back to Trafford, the goalkeeper. He clears over the halfway line, headed away by Mepham and Zabani in there, and Semenyo wins it back. Semenyo in more of a central position now for Bournemouth. Here's Solanke, right side of the box. Tavernier skips away from his man to the byline. Still Tavernier looks up. There's no one in there for him to find. It was behind Semenyo. And now Burnley will try and break through Asignon. Down the right-hand side, he's got Benson ahead of him. Checks back on the halfway line. Square ball to Cullen. Space over on the left for Odeberg. Given away by Burnley. Adam Smith wins it back once and then twice. Adam Smith's going to try and advance now. Free kick, I think, for a tackle by Adam Smith. Looked like he won the ball. And David Coote's going to wander over and have a word with Adam Smith. And it is a yellow card for Smith.
Oh, man.
We'll wait for the replays. It looked like a good tackle from Adam Smith. So the first touch was a little bit heavy, then he went sliding in, won the ball, went through the player, which was Charlie Taylor.
He got his foot on the ball, but you're going to tell me...
I think that's a great tackle.
I think it's a great tackle.
You'd have been really pleased with one of them back in your day.
But they're going to tell me that you can't show your studs when you tackle.
I'm not sure his studs were up. They were, but then they came down as he made contact. I thought that was really good from Adam Smith, and he can feel himself unlucky to go into the book, and the ball's up the other end. Bournemouth won a goal kick. David Coote's given the corner to Burnley. Fofana did well. Defending for the Cherries to do. Over on the far side, Amdouni with Odebear. Short to Odebear, they take it quickly. Back out to Benson. Left corner of the box for Burnley. Back out to Odebear. Hugging the touchline. Towards the edge of the box. Right-footed cross in. Flick goal was flicked wide. Goal kick to Bournemouth. They lead Burnley by a goal to nil here at Turf Moor. We're heading into the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Looks like someone's being called back, I think, over on the far side. Bournemouth change imminent. I think it's going to be Dongo Watara. Willow? Sorry, I've killed you there just as you took a swig of drink.
Yeah, I think Watara for Tav, possibly. I think that would be the one I would.
Neto taking his time over this goal kick. Eventually he does send it long. Over the halfway line. Solanke's underneath it. He's beaten to the header by Estev. Drops to Kirkes inside the centre circle. Kirkes to Tavernier. Tavernier bundled over. Tavernier looked at the referee, wanted the free kick, doesn't get one. Burnley through Benson are out on the right hand side now. Manuel Benson skips away from Tavernier. Still going. Tricky winger. Down the line looking for Fofana. Plays it straight out. Throw into Bournemouth.
Yeah. Tav having to go with the referee for what was going on. Been told to sit down again, whoever it was. Can't quite see from here, can you?
Dongo Watara is taking his tracksuit off, and I think Enesu now is also stripped and ready to come on for Bournemouth. Meanwhile, here's Sanderberg on the halfway line. Can't bring it under control. That allows Lewis Cook to get in there and Solanke, but he does well in the end. Forward to Amdouni. Amdouni out to the left-hand side and Charlie Taylor. Charlie Taylor's early cross in. Neto's underneath it and plucks it out of the sky. Good goalkeeping from Neto. Double change coming up for Bournemouth. They lead by a goal to nil. You're listening to BBC Radio Solent. We've got 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go here at Turf Moor.
Yeah, just run the clock down now. It's bound to be 4 or 5, isn't it? Added on.
Volleyed clear by Neto towards Billing over the halfway line. Beaten to the header. Drops to Dara O'Shea.
Just got to be careful here.
Manuel Benson. He's got Assignon further ahead of him down the right. Here's Assignon. Right side of the box. Benson still out towards the touchline. Back heel from Assignon to Benson. Right side of the area now. Marked closely by Kirkes. Onto his left foot. Still right corner of the box for Burnley. Assignon back to Benson. Cullen's there as well. Josh Cullen sends it back to the centre circle. Square ball to Dara O'Shea on the halfway line. Still Bournemouth wait for the ball to come in. And Cullen goes all the way back to his goalkeeper, James Trafford. Frustration amongst the home supporters again.
Yeah, you can sense it, can't you? They know they're...
There's the long ball to the edge of the Bournemouth box. Zabani's underneath it, heads away. Then Alex Scott gets the second header. Phil Billing wins the third ball. And there's space for Semenyo down the right-hand side. He's got Tavernier further forward, ahead of him. Down the left if he wants him. Still Semenyo. Solanke's arriving. Semenyo onto his left foot. Deflected and in! That'll do it for Bournemouth. Antoine Semenyo. His 5th goal of the season will seal their first win in 2024 in the Premier League. They go 2-0 up away at Burnley. John Williams.
Well, I said it before, as soon as he gets the ball on that right-hand side, he's on the edge of the box, slightly in the box, and he keeps cutting across. He gets it on his left foot, and I think that's the 4th time we've seen him curl one in from that sort of angle. I think he might be even substituted. We'll just have to wait and see at the moment. The 2 subs coming on. What a way to go out with a goal like that if you are getting subbed.
Bournemouth have waited this afternoon. They've played the patient game. They've let Burnley have the ball. They've waited and waited for the opportunities. One came in the first half, which Justin Clivert put away. And Antoine Semenyo's had his moments in the second half. And finally, cutting in on that left foot, he finds the back of the net.
And substitution for Bournemouth as well.
And Milos Kirkes is going off. Dongo Watara is coming on at left back for Bournemouth. And Dominic Solanke's heading off too. On comes Enesu now.
Well, there's a chance for to play free for a couple of minutes.
And the stands are emptying here at Turf Moor.
Yeah, very much so.
Every area of Turf Moor, bar that away end, away to our right-hand side, which has been in fine voice all afternoon.
Yeah, that's going to make the league table look really healthy. 31 points, I believe.
Yeah, and another huge step towards securing Premier League status for next season.
We're just getting a bit before ourselves here. Just let's see how many minutes are added on.
30 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Sheffield United and Luton to come next. Cross into the box. Neto comes out and punches, does well, and then Lewis Cook hooks the second ball away. Enes Unal gets bundled over and wins a free kick for Bournemouth. Just take the sting out of that Burnley attack. Stoppage time on the way any moment from fourth official Darren Bond.
Somebody's gone down in the box there.
Is it Chris Mepham, Willow?
Fourth official has
I think it might be Chris Mepham down inside the 6-yard area.
6 minutes.
6 minutes of stoppage time.
So we've still.
A Mepham injury is the last thing Bournemouth need right now, with Marcus Senesi going off with a hamstring problem earlier on in the game. Mepham's back up on his feet. He's furious, I think. And the physio's come on, so Mepham is going to have to make his way off the pitch for 30 seconds before he's going to be allowed back on. Lewis Cook's going to drop back in at centre-back alongside Zabani. So we've got Ouattara at left-back now. Unal is the lone striker for Bournemouth. And Neto will have the free kick. Listen to those fans.
Well, I'm sure we're in fine fettle now. Just going to run this clock down or get another one, hopefully.
Neto sends the ball out to the right-hand side, and Semenyo, scorer of Bournemouth's second goal. They're 2-0 up. We're into stoppage time now. 1 of the 6 gone. Alex Scott on the halfway line. Tavernier. Anu now with a lovely back heel. They find Ouattara. Ouattara halfway inside the Burnley half. He runs straight into the right back of Signon. Then wins it back. Tavernier still out there helping him out. Tavernier gives away a free kick, says the referee, on the edge of the Burnley box.
Well, there's been some real good performances today. It's not been a classic where you want to do things, but you know, again, Cookie just everywhere, all around the pitch. Zaba, yeah, another one you can put up there.
Charged down over on the far side by Semenyo, out of play, throw into Burnley on the halfway line. Vincent Kompany sprinting to get the ball for his side.
And of course Semenyo, who probably takes it all because of his goal and the work he's put in.
Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper, with the ball at his feet inside his own area, pressed by Unal. Out to this near right-hand side. Dongo Ouattara at left-back, forward to press Benson. They push Burnley back into their 18-yard area again, and Trafford's under all sorts of pressure and can only slice it straight out of play under intense pressure from Unal. Throw into Bournemouth, halfway inside the Burnley half, down this near left-hand side. They're 2-0 up. They're heading for a rare win away at Turf Moor. Only their second league win in the club's history. First victory in the Premier League of 2024. And the fans continue to head out of the ground.
A double if we win.
Yeah, first double of the season. First double over Burnley. Trafford, the Burnley goalkeeper, inside his 6-yard box, clears with his left foot this time, through the middle. Finds the feet of Gudmundsson, who snuck on as well late on in this game. I missed that substitution. Back heel towards Gudmundsson. They get it wrong, and Zabani again is there for Bournemouth with a foot in. Finds Billing. Billing sends it out to the right. Just too much on the ball. That would have set Tavernier away. Throw into Burnley.
Yeah, it would have done.
Halfway through stoppage time. 3 gone. 3 to go. Here's Estev, the centre-back for Burnley, halfway inside the Burnley half. Finds Sander Berg to his right. Berg pressed by Phil Billing. Those fresh legs for Bournemouth now really having a bit of an impact in this second half.
Yeah, and he's made a little impact with a couple of flick-ons, Phil Billing, and a couple of passes.
Burnley send it out to the left-hand side, and Charlie Taylor closed down by Semenyo. They go back to Estev. Again, the ball's with the Burnley goalkeeper, Trafford. They send it forward along the ground, looking for Jay Rodriguez. Another player who snuck on, who I've missed, Willow. Must have been amongst all the Bournemouth celebrations for that second goal. A little bit of space for Gudmundsson. He sends a ball into the box for Farner, heads goalwards. It's straight at Neto, who catches and just stands still and will use every one of his 6 seconds available. 2 minutes of stoppage time left. Bournemouth 2-0 up away at Burnley. Let's start getting your reaction in, please, to Ian Wilding back in the studio. At Solent's board on social media, 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Make Solent the first word. 81333 on the text. Again, starting your messages with the word Solent. I'll head down and speak to Andoni Iraola after the game. We'll hopefully bring you some player reaction too. Make sure you stick around through until 4 o'clock. Willow will stay in the press box as well and bring you his extended thoughts on the game. Don't forget, if you're not doing so already, make sure you subscribe to the Bournemouth page on the BBC Sounds app. It's where you get a lot of our Cherries content and every episode of Cherries Unpicked. We'll try and get one recorded for you this week when Chris Temple makes his way back down south from Glasgow. Here come Burnley inside the centre circle. Fofana turns away from Mepham. Mepham is sprinting, trying to get back to him, giving it everything. Essignon, right side of the box. And Manuel Benson marked closely by Tavernier. 45 seconds to go, needs full concentration from the Cherries now. Billing. Benson shoots well wide into the advertising boards behind Neto's goal. Goal kick, Cherries 2-0 up. Kluivert, Semenyo with the goals. John Williams.
Yeah, it's been one of them performances where it hasn't been fantastic, but we've done enough to win the game. Took our chances really well, and that's all that the manager's been asking the lads to do that in previous games, and it hasn't quite pulled off. So they can go in that changing room and say, well, there you go. 2 good chances, 2 good goals. Job well done.
So Bournemouth stay 13th, having moved up to 13th on goal difference after Crystal Palace's defeat yesterday. On to 31 points, as Willow told you. There is the full-time whistle. They've had to wait until the start of March, but Bournemouth have their first Premier League win of 2024. They do the double over Burnley. They take another big step towards securing their top-flight status for next season. Goals from Justin Kluivert in the first half and Antoine Semenyo in the second, in what has had to be a patient performance from Bournemouth. They've sat back, they've let Burnley have the ball, and they've taken their moments when they came. Not the prettiest of matches, but 3 points in the bag for Andoni Iraola's side, heading back down the motorway to Dorset. John Williams.
Yes, excellent. It's a difficult place to come and play, come and win. But we've done it today, and but also for me, it breaks that 30-point barrier. When you're looking to avoid relegation and that sort of situation, getting past that 30-point barrier, you could look at one more game statistically over the years. I think it's 33 that has gone down very recently. I know one team, West Ham, went down with 38 or something, but that's why I always say 40. But I'm sure we can start thinking about trying to finish as high up the table as possible.
And 2 points, Willow. They've got in front and they've stayed in front, which they've struggled with recently and this season away from home. And we spoke to Ian Wilding before the match about some others stepping up, helping Dominic Solanke out, scoring the goals. Semenyo and Kluivert were there today.
Yes, they were, and you just feel for when you've got someone like Dominic who really, for all his goal scoring efforts, he really works his socks off, and if some of that can rub off on Kluivert, which was a fine goal as well. Semenyo as well with his goal, he's getting into the habit of putting them in that top corner, and I hope it continues for another 10 games or so.
And the fans are singing Andoni Iraola's name, as they have done all afternoon, away to our right-hand side. They are celebrating that win here at Turf Moor with the Bournemouth manager and the Cherries players, who are applauding back, showing their appreciation for those that got up at the crack of dawn to make the long journey up to Lancashire this afternoon. They're going back happy. 3 points to the Cherries, their first in the Premier League of 2024. It's finished here at Turf Moor, with reaction to come. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 2.
This is BBC Radio Solent Sport.
That Premier League winning feeling is back for Bournemouth. The goal in each half, and they took the lead thanks to this man.
Sends it over the top, looking for the run of Kluivert. Kluivert's in behind again, onto his left foot, onto his right foot, Justin Kluivert! Bournemouth lead away at Burnley. Lovely touch from Kluivert to skip away from the defender and then smash it past Travers. Burnley 0, Bournemouth 1. Justin Kluivert with his 6th goal of the season.
And things looked a lot more comfortable once this happened.
Still Semenyo. Solanke's arriving. Semenyo onto his left foot, deflected and in! That'll do it for Bournemouth. Antoine Semenyo, his 5th goal of the season, will seal their first win in 2024 in the Premier League. They go 2-0 up away at Burnley.
Neil Atchell on Twitter, plenty of chances but not quite the finishing we need. Great results, however, all the home games coming up could be completely safe in a few weeks' time. Paul says, why did it take so long for Unal to come on? But we've had more texts here from Sarah in Gillingham. A win at Turf Moor has made my day. Also, happy Eric and Ellie have got in touch. Well done, Cherries. We raise our hats to Neto for some great work, and we could hear our travelling supporters singing 3 points in the bag. BBC Radio Solent Sport. Get in touch. We're on air till 4 o'clock this afternoon when Tony Blackburn takes over. 81333 on the text, Solent your first word. WhatsApp is 08000 321 333. Again, make Solent your first word. Or you can tweet us at Solent Sport. We'll hear from Bournemouth manager Andoni Iraola and a player between now and 4, and we'll digest a good win for the Cherries, and my goodness me, did they need it. Home of live sport across the south.
BBC Radio Solent Sport. Steve Harris at breakfast.
We get some unusual guests on the show.
My name is Shay Quentin and I am a magnet fisherman. It's pretty much as simple as it sounds. You've got a big old magnet on the end of a big old rope and you launch it in the water and see what you can pull out. So I've had a sword that we expect to be from the Civil War era, a French bayonet sword, a few bombs.
Bombs? What's that like?
Well, usually you have a bit of a bum clench moment as it comes out of the water.
Steve Harris at breakfast.
Weekdays from 7.
BBC Radio Solent. BBC Radio Solent Sport with Ian Wilding.
A very good afternoon. A good win for the Cherries. Their first win of 2024. 3:30 kick-off this afternoon is the Manchester derby. City against United. That one's 25 minutes away. And in women's football, the 2 o'clock kick-offs were Southampton away at Sunderland. That's currently goalless. Saints will be moving up to second. 1 point still behind leaders Sunderland if that remains the same, while leaders of the National League South Premier Division, Portsmouth, currently goalless away at Cardiff. There's also got the second half underway there. While in Division 1 South West, AFC Bournemouth away at Bridgewater Town was postponed due to a waterlogged pitch, but Southampton Women's FC away at Maidenhead United is 1-1. This is how you can get in touch today.
Text 81333.
Start your message with the word Solent.
Texts are charged at your standard message rate. See our privacy notice at bbc.co.uk/local radio privacy.
BBC Radio Solent.
That's how to text 81333. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, make Solent your first word, or tweet us at Solent Sport. Paul Faulkner says we improved in the second half, tightened the midfield. Cook man of the match, great pass for Semenyo goal. A win is a win in the end. Hopefully confidence and performances will improve from now on, up the Cherries, onwards and upwards. For Bournemouth, it means they stay 13th after Crystal Palace moved below Bournemouth yesterday after their defeat, which put the Cherries in front on goal difference, but they're now 3 points ahead of Crystal Palace. Played 26, 31 points now Bournemouth, and crucially now 11 points above the drop zone.